Hi everybody, I'm Amor Maximo, and I'm just a random person trying to share how beautiful life is. Today is day 1, day 2, day 3, fourth day of Galley Talks, the first virtual flight attendant conference. So if you're up for it, let's go! Yay! Salamat,
Thank
salamat.
you.
Thank you, Shane. Grabe pagka-start mo, parang sumabog yung chat box. Ito na yung,
Thank
hindi
you
ko
po.
nasabog siya, pero ito yung pinaka-explosive. Ayan. Hi, Miss Shane. Hi, Miss Shane. I'm a fan. So, ayan,
Hello.
everybody's greeting you. Salamat, salamat, salamat. Oh, ito pa from Ina. O, kinilig ako doon. Siguro nung binanggit yung pangalan mo, Ina, no? Grabe, babanggitin tayo. Babanggitin tayo ni Miss Shane. Si Mon, teka lang, may comment. Mon, yes.
Actually, I wanted to share this also. Si Shane, na-meet ko siya even before she became a vlogger, and that was in Cebu. That was,
Yes.
I think, the first time I went to Cebu alone to do a vlog shoot. Tapos, I think I posted sa social media, hey guys, who's here? I'm alone here in Cebu. Wants to go on a food trip or kasi wala, gusto ka na. I mean, that afternoon kasi walang ginagawa nun eh. So I wanted to meet people. Si Shane was one of those who messaged. And, sobrang natuwa ako na, uy, you're here in Cebu. Tara, saan tayo kumain nun, Shane? Anong pangalan ng restaurant na yan?
Balamban. Ayan, lahat
Yan,
alam
sa
ng
Balamban.
mga flight attendant.
Yan, sa Balamban. And then, sinama ko rin si Yani, Amor. Si Yani.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, kaming tatlo, ako, Shane, si Yani, there we are in Balamban, kumakain ng ayan, yung in-order natin, yung puso ba yan?
Puso,
Yung rice, puso.
kanin na nasa,
Yeah, and then,
nakabalot.
katerbang lechon, Cebong lechon. And we were talking talaga about almost everything. Si Shane, I noticed, she really had this parang character na masayahin, lagi nakasmile doon during that time. I mean, she wasn't even a vlogger noon. And until we all parted ways, I think that was dinner kasi. Ngayon, that's why ngayon, di ako magtataka why Shane is really successful in vlogging. Because ever since, she displayed that character of, it's that person who really wants to help people, who wants to influence people, and someone with a positive attitude talaga. So,
Ay,
yun.
grabe.
Just wanted to say that.
Thank you, kilig.
Oo. Ako talaga, kinilig talaga ako kay Miss Shane. Wala lang po. Nainggit naman ako.
No?
Nainggit naman ako kay Yani. Nakadito pala niya si Miss Shane. Hindi ko alam
Kami
yun.
tatlo. We were at Balamban.
Shane, ang tanong ng libre ba si Mon?
Nakalimutan ko na.
Ala, nakalimutan
Secret.
mo. Yata.
Kasi nagyayaya siya umalis,
Hindi.
di ba? So, hindi namin alam kung sasama kami o hindi. Depende kasi.
Shane, sabihin ko na ito
Oh.
when we were getting the bill, nagulat na lang kami, bayad na, binayaran ni Shane.
Ay,
Hindi.
Seryoso,
You're a fabulous host.
seryoso.
Wow.
So, dapat, so
Kaya
yun,
ako
doon tayo
nag-graduate
sasama.
6.
Doon tayo sasama.
Fabulous host. Yeah, next time Char.
Sa Cebu. Gulat ako. I mean, syempre, siguro syempre, visitor. Pero syempre, I wanted to, kasi ako nagyaya eh. Naiya ako, syempre. But sobrang nakakatuwa lang. Tagal natin, Shane. Dapat na, I think we were there 5. Tapos tayo, 7:30.
Okay, naiinggit na ako.
Oo nga. Mon, this story proves one thing lang siguro, no? Minention ni Shane, and which is true na isa siya sa mga first, no? Siya, si Janine, si Kay Chris, si Ruth Ramos, pero bago yung mga nauna, nandyan ka na.
Actually, ano ba?
Di ba? Bago pa sila, nandyan ka na. Wala akong ini-imply, nauna ka sa.
Hindi, gets niya yun.
That's why hindi ako magtataka why talagang dumami yung mga subscribers and really our aspirants really look forward to hearing from Shane. Kasi it cares eh. I mean, you having a positive attitude and someone who genuinely cares for everyone, really wants to help. Parang I mean, kumbaga na-carry on na lang eh. Tuloy-tuloy na naturally. So,
you're such a delight to watch.
Okay, thank you. Kudos, kudos. And I think I mentioned this no first day or second day ng conference natin. No? If you are parang just to be a part of the group chat na namin sa conference, nakita mo yung mga pangalan na nandun. Ayan. Tapos it's full of admiration, mutual respect. And just like what Shane mentioned earlier, na kayong mga nanonood, ayan, you will be the ones that we will be listening to in the future. Isa lang siguro ang magiging consistent na
Yeah.
si Mon Ortiz ay nandun pa rin, no? Kasi, kumbaga, I'm not implying anything, pero alamat na yan si Mon, hindi na yan matitinag. Pero on a lighter note, it's true, no? Sabi nga namin, pag nag-uusap kami sa chat, like some of us, naku, kayo yung pinapanood namin, tas ngayon we are having a conference with you, and look, lo and
Exactly.
behold, we are having a conference like Ina, myself,
This
we're
is
having
like
a conference.
surreal.
Yeah, Shane, Mond, I always say this, talking to them is surreal. And hopefully in the next few years, we'll be sharing it with you. And in the next few years, we'll be watching you and you will take our place. Sabi nga niya, kwento niya na when you started as your flight attendant goals, pag naging flight attendant ka na, what's next? So, life comes in moments. So, ngayon, estudyante kayo, focus muna sa studies pero looking forward at a bigger goal. Pag na-achieve natin yan, what's next? Nung naging flight attendant si Shane, focus. Nung move forward siya, what's next? So, para continuous tayong nag-grow. Yun lang, nakakatuwa na all of us, the speakers, are, kahit magkakaiba kami airline, pero we share ideally more or less the same ideas.
Yes.
Same advocacies in helping, sharing, whether we have 145,000 followers, we have 2,000, Mond has 14,000, and me, 300. It's still a phase. O, di ba? Natawa ka, 300. Pero mindset is the same. Sabi ko nga,
Yeah.
naliligaw ako dito eh, pero everybody started somewhere. Bago ka makarating ng 2,000 kay Ina, abot ka ng 300. Bago ka makarating ng 14, abot
Exactly.
ka ng 2, 145. But at the end of the day, kahit isang tao lang, matulungan mo kahit hindi social media, at least touch the life of one person. Nako, it's more than enough. Ayan. With that being said, do you have any questions? Type it down. Ayan. Minsan, nakita ko yung comment, ka-zoom natin si Miss Shane. Grabe. Oo nga.
Oo. Totoo, no? At dahil dyan, mag-mute muna ulit ako.
All right. So while I'm sure questions will come in. Let's have our phone-in questions. Ayan, ito medyo gagawa tayo ng onting issue, Shane, ha. Ayan, alam ko.
Wow!
Gagawa tayo ng onting issue sa mga katanungan.
Wow!
If you have to give up one thing as of this moment, would it be being a flight attendant or being a vlogger?
Wow! Medyo may issue nga siya.
walang
Ayan,
walang buwelo-buwelo pa, diretso
Kaya
na
nga,
eh.
yun agad eh. For me, kung tatanungin ako kung ano yung i-give up ko, kung flight attendant ba or yung vlogger, wala po akong i-give up. Kasi, kung meron man na mawawala sa akin, mawawala na kung sino po yung ako, kung ano yung nakilala niyo sa akin ngayon. So, kasi kung hindi po ako naging flight attendant, hindi ako magiging vlogger. Hindi ako magkakaroon ng idea, katulad ng sinasabi ko kanina, na makapag-inspire ako ng ibang tao. At ganun din, hindi din ako kasi isa lang din akong nangangarap before, tapos gusto ko lang talaga din makatulong. So, wala akong mag-give up. Kung ano man, kung para sa akin, God willing, kung mawala man yung pagiging flight attendant at pagiging vlogger ko, para sa akin okay lang din kasi I already serve my purpose.
Ayan. O, diba? If you have a big heart, love lang ng love. Oo. Sa ano yan, ha? Sa pagiging flight attendant at vlogger lang yan, ha? Hindi natin iaano sa tao yan, ha? Isa-isa.
Wag natin
No? Oo, hindi yan applicable sa tayo. Di ba, Mon?
Andito
No?
pala yung
Mon,
si Doc Boyfie ko. Siya yung nag-ayos dito.
hello, Doc Boyfie.
Salamat.
Everybody says hi. Ayan, no, meron ba tayong questions pa? Wala pa. Naku, parang ano sila, tawag dito, na shock. Ayan. Starstruck. Ayan, meron tayo from Pat Morante. Ano pong na-feel nyo nung isa po ang batch ni Miss Jen sa mga hindi po makakalipad? By the way, your collab with Miss Jen is really my favorite. From Pat Morante.
Yes. Kung ano yung na-feel ko nung yung batch niya. First, na ginawa ko kasi nung nalaman, before pa na i-announce, nag-uusap-usap na syempre na baka ganitong batch, ganyan-ganyan. So, nung time na yon I prayed kasi yung friend ko din is malapit din sa batch niya. Kasama ko nun sa Cebu. Syempre, lockdown pa nun. Then, nung in-announce na sa amin na wala ni yung batch nila, siya talaga yung first ko na message and sinabi ko na nandito lang ako, ganyan, and patuloy lang tayo. Yung kinausap ko siya ng Bisaya, ganyan. Nakakalungkot. Kasi marami pa kaming mga plans din. Marami kaming mga plans na mga contents, pero hindi na siya baka matuloy. Baka kapag pumunta na ako ulit ng Cebu, yun, i-visit ko na siya, ganun. So, ayun.
Ayun, minsan talaga, no? At a snap, pwedeng magbago ang plano, pero what's important is we try to make the most of the time that we have. And minsan may mga things na that's out of our control. Pero it should not stop us from moving forward. Pero on a limelight, no? Look at Miss Jen.
Yes.
Though,
Mas naging
her
blessed.
career, yes, di ba? So, do not always, it's just how you see it. So, yes, it might be sad, pero sometimes you have to move forward. Ayan. Kala ko, papaiyakin kaya ata ng mga parang puro from Christine Joy Mahala, Miss Shane, may we know the most heartwarming compliment that you had from a passenger while flying?
Heartwarming compliment? Bukod dun sa may isang beses na may natulungan akong matanda. Kasi ako po kasi yung flight attendant na kahit na anong mangyari, talagang tumutulong, hindi ko po siya binabrag, pero kapag naging nandun na din kayo, kasi once kasi naging routinary na yung job, maano ka lagi ka na lang mag-greet, ganyan, hindi ka na marami akong mga experiences na ganun. Pero once na go ka an extra mile, ganyan. Yung time na yon, meron akong natulungan na matanda, na Korean, ganyan. Tapos, talagang todo tulong ako sa kanya. And then, that time, sabi niya, alam mo, hindi ko makalimutan yun. Sabi niya na, you are not just beautiful, but you are helpful. Ganyan. Yun yung sabi niya. So, thank you. Parang, sa kahit na konting panahon na yun, nakatulong ako at naging blessing ako dun sa passenger.
Yes. So sabi mo nga, parang if you have that mindset, para sa'yo, it's a little thing, but to others, that's a big thing already. So,
Yes.
maganda siyang way to pay it forward if we always have that mindset. Ayan. From Tanya Marquez, actually, ang ganda ng voice ni Miss Shane. Pwede ba kayong mag-sample ng FA announcement nyo? Second comment from Stephanie T. Opo, sample please, with a heart. Pagbibigyan mo ba, Miss Shane? Alam ko, the best mo na ito ginawa sa TikTok mo, sa social media, pero pagbibigyan mo ba? Kahit may clean up?
Ko lang yung ating, mic. Kasi, ayan, malinaw. Binago kasi yung announcement namin, pero ito yung dati naming announcement.
Oh, yes, please.
Diba? Saan ba tayo pupunta? Amor Maximo.
Cebu, kasi manlilibre si Mond ng dinner sa Cebu. Kaya lahat tayo babiyahe sa Cebu.
Ayan, punta tayo ng Cebu.
Balamban ulit.
Okay, sige. A pleasant afternoon to everyone. Welcome aboard Cebu Pacific. This is Flight 5J586 and we're all bound for Mactan, Cebu. Only guests for this flight should be on board.
Ayan.
Si Amor naman.
Wag na. Host, moderator.
Si Ina naman.
I am so happy!
Ayan ha. So, pag safety demo, nakikinig din ha. Hindi. Pag nag-a-announce si Shane, safety demo, lahat nakikinig din. You'll never know. From Christopher Labio Pagay, how do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now?
Ay, wow. Pang interview question, diba?
Pang Miss Universe nga kasi after may kukoronahan.
5 to 10 years from now, maybe I'll be a housewife. Ganyan. Tapos with 3 children. Wow, hindi talaga. And as successful businesswoman. Kasi hindi na ako mag-sugarcoat. I am praying na kung if ever na mag-settle down na ako, mag-focus naman na ako sa aking family life. Ayan.
Kumbaga, the
Yun yung
next
ano ko.
phase of your career.
Yes, yun yung nakikita ko. Kasi I already served my purpose. Yun yung sinabi ko kanina. I already served my purpose. And ngayon, ito na. Yung next ko naman na gagawin is to be a good housewife sa kay Doc Boyfie. Ayan, kapag kami ay kakasal na and maging mabuting magulang.
May bahay.
Sabay tingin kay Doc Boyfie na sigurado nakangiti siya ngayon.
Tanaw daw love.
That's so sweet.
Sabi niya, good answer. Pa-deliver tayo mamaya kahit saan mo gusto. Yan.
So
Alright,
sweet.
so tama, di ba? Life comes in moments, no? So, 5 years, business, married, 3 kids. From Mitchie, I have noticed that some of the flight attendants, they leave their career, ayan, sakto. They leave their career as a flight attendant when they are about to marry and have children. By the time when you build your family, would you still continue on with this career? Because she is asking, how committed are you as being a flight attendant?
Ayun. I already shared na kanina yung aking future plans. We're praying pa kami doon. Pero as of the moment, habang nandito pa ako, hindi naman ako magsasawa na tumulong sa lahat ng mga aspiring flight attendants natin.
Yeah. Kung kaya pagsabay-sabayin, no? Why not?
Diba?
No?
Yes.
It's just a matter of priorities. Tingnan, lalayo pa ba tayo? Tingnan natin si Mami Ina. O, sakto 3. 3 din. O, di ba? 3 din, but with a flying career and an Instagram career. O, goals. So, kumbaga, we learn from each other. Ayan. O, wala pang questions. Okay, balik muna sa aking phone-in questions. Ayan. Ito, we talked about this earlier, no? That some people see you as a role model. Sabi nga na dun sa group natin, nung aspirant din ako, fina-follow kita ngayon, ka-conference na kita. Ayan. So, we got, di ba? Parang, uy. With that being said, how does it feel that a lot of aspirants like see you as a role model, not just like being a flight attendant or a vlogger, just as a person, they see you as a model, role model?
Ayun. For me, it's a blessing. Blessing for me na maging role model ng isang youth, di ba? Kasi hindi lahat ng mga influencer can give good influence, 'di ba? So kung ikaw magiging role model ka nila, blessing para sa akin 'yon as an influencer. Kasi nakaka-influence ako ng mga bagay sa kanya, hindi lang as a flight attendant but also on how to be a good person. Ayan, yun yung masabi ko. And yun.
Ayan. So yes, no, tulad nga ng sinabi ni Miss Shane, just like continue to pay it forward because when we were younger, we look up to some people and you'll never know, baka isa sa inyo ipapasa ni Shane ang corona in 5 to 10 years, di ba? yun eh. yun ang goals for all of us to be lifted up. Kumbaga, hilahan pataas, walang hilahan pababa kasi lahat tayo pwede mag-succeed. Ayan, isa yan sa mga bagay na natutunan ko rin and isa sa mga bagay na when we talk about it, kaming mga etong speakers, regardless kung gaano kalayo or gaano kalapit, o di ba? It's just the same mindset, same goal, same advocacy, and it will lead you to more blessings. It will lead you to more blessings. And since pinag-usapan natin yung napakaganda mong sagot na natuwa si Doc Boyfie, inusog na natuwa si Doc Boyfie, no? Maiba lang, ito naman isa sa mga hardest questions na pinadala sa akin na itanong sa'yo. Mm-hmm. What is your most recent Shopee or Lazada purchase?
Natawa ko eh. Recent Lazada purchase.
Nakita ko, nakikinig ka ng mabuti.
Oo nga, sabi ko, ano to, baka mamaya, ano to. Strap na aking, iWatch. Ito yung recent Lazada purchase ko. Kasi, ayan siya. Yung strap.
Sarap naman siya. From Ian Christopher Tagalogon. If given a chance, you will meet a flight aspirant in person. And I'm
Mm-mm.
sure this has happened already, and this
Yeah.
will happen. What is the best advice you can give to an aspirant? Maybe
Um,
let's give two scenarios, no, siguro. Isang aspirant na estudyante at isang aspirant na working na. Para yun, may mga young ones and mga medyo nasa older ones a bit.
sa student naman, kapag may nakita ako na aspirant na student, mag-aral ka na mabuti. Kung gusto mo talaga maging flight attendant, gawin mo talaga yung best mo. At kung naguguluhan ka pa kung ano yung gusto mong course na kunin sa after mong maging high school, ganyan. Kunin mo yung course na makakapagpasaya sa'yo. Yung gusto mo talaga. Kasi sa pagiging flight attendant, hindi naman kailangan na meron ka talagang certain course. Kasi kahit na si Sir Amor, meron din siyang course. Si Mami Ina kanina, meron din siyang course na hindi talaga related sa pagiging flight attendant. So, as a student, high school student, yung gusto mo talaga na maging yan. Kung ano yung makakapagpasaya sa'yo. And for those who are working na gusto maging flight attendant, i-push mo na yan, diba? Kailangan mo lang talaga ng big step. Kasi kahit na ako nung dati, hindi pa ako flight attendant, I was working with Emirates. Ground attendant ako doon. Talaga natatakot ako. Talaga nakakatakot mag-shift ng core at mag-shift ng career, diba? Kasi syempre nandun ka na, naging ground attendant ka na, and gusto mo na yung work, then magiging flight attendant ka na, gagawin mo na yung pangarap mo. So, kailangan mo lang talaga i-push and kailangan mo lang talaga ng big step. Lakasan mo lang yung loob mo and I believe matatanggap ka.
Yeah, no, true. Because one of the hardest places to live, na makaalis, to live from, is your comfort zone. So, isa yun
Yes.
sa mga mahirap na bagay. And kaming mga, si Shane, ako, and the other speakers, kahit anong push namin sa inyo, it's still up to you to take that first step. So, yun, it's still up to you. Hopefully, you decide to do that. Speaking of, no, na-mention nga ni Shane na it's through any course. Ako, magpa-follow up question na ako. I came from a different course, commerce major in business ad, not really related. For everybody else, baka hindi nila alam, nung college ka, Shane, what was your course?
Bachelor of Science in Air Traffic Control. O, di ba?
Ayan. Malapit-lapit pero more on the technical aspect talaga eh. No? So, basta mag-aral lang. At isa pa, alam ko, lagi rin tong natatanong, paano kung senior high graduate ako? Should I stop studying to apply or should I wait? Or ano ang advice mo dyan? I'm sure that's a usual question also.
Personal opinion ko dyan sa part na yan. I suggest na magpatuloy ka sa college. Kasi, hindi naman magsa-stop yung buhay sa pagiging flight attendant lang. Kasi, natanggap ko na din yung truth na yung pagiging flight attendant, kung hindi mo talaga siya, kung for example, nandun ka na, hindi siya pang forever na job. Unlike kung meron kang 4-year course, nakapag-college ka, meron kang backup na na work. Ayan. So, yun yung masabi ko, wag nating madaliin din lahat. Magiging flight attendant ka naman in God's time, 'di ba? Pero kung for example na para lang meron kang maganda yung standing mo as a person kasi syempre mo yun magiging accomplishment mo yan sa life mo kung meron ka ding degree. Pero kung gusto mo ding maging senior high school tapos mag-flight attendant ka na, wala namang pumipigil sa'yo na nakikinig sa'yo ngayon. Pero for me as a flight attendant na nakita ko na kung ano yung mga different angles ng aming career, mas maganda na meron ka talagang course.
Yes, and I agree with you, Shane. In general, in short, it provides better opportunities in general, but it's still up to you. Siguro, yan, I think majority of us give the same advice if you're given the chance to take a 4-year course. So, especially now, itong pandemic, I do not think, ideally there will not be hiring within the year or somewhere in the couple of years. So why not take this time to study? to
Yes.
study and you'll never know. Sayang yung pagkakataon. Kaysa mag-antay ka muna for something unsure. I think education is something very sure. Thank you, Miss Shane. And ito, from Christopher, kung hindi ka FA ngayon, nasa ang career path ka? Hindi ka rin vlogger, unahin ko na. Yan, para something
Hindi
different from your...
influencer, tanggalin
Hindi
natin
ka
yun.
influencer. Tanggal lahat ng social media aspect. Yan. Walang FA, walang social media.
Ang gusto ko talaga maging teacher. Yan, teacher ng mga bata. Yan ako. Nasa church siguro ako ngayon. Kasi wala akong ibang pupuntahan. Kundi yun. Yun yung nakikita ko sa sarili ko.
Small tidbit, ako rin, I wanted to be a teacher ng mga bata din. Kaya ako naging flight attendant. Napakalayo, di ba? Pero yun yung dahilan kung ba't ako naging flight attendant dahil gusto ko maging teacher ng mga bata. Napakalayo. But like what I said, di ba natatawa ka, Christopher? Pero you'll never know talaga eh. So, parang yung dreams nyo to become a flight attendant now, it will lead you to where you are supposed to be, whether you will be a flight attendant, which we are sure you are, but just in case na hindi, nako, I'm sure God has something bigger and better planned for you. So, go lang, move forward lang. From Daphne Lian Castillo, hi Miss Shane, what is your favorite Bible verse po when you are still an aspirant? Follow up ko na, ngayon, if meron ba or nagbago ba, isa nung hindi ka pa FA, if meron man, or kung maalala mo man, at least kung hindi mo maalala yung favorite mo ngayon.
And, syempre, I can do all things through Christ which strengthened me. Tapos, yung ngayon na flight attendant na ako, yung life verse ko pa din. Ayan, Psalm 27. Psalm 28 verse 7. Ayan. Yan yung aking verse.
And that's what's nice if you also follow Shane's social media accounts. Like what she said, no, she is a flight attendant, she's an influencer, and she's also spreading the good word. You can see a lot of Bible verses, inspirational quotes na talagang hindi ka lang may inspired to become a flight attendant, but to try to be a better person in general. Grabe. Tsaka kung hindi kayo naniniwala sa mga sinasabi ni Shane, meron kayong onting doubt, makinig kayo dun sa mga manok na naririnig nyo ngayon. Naririnig yung mga kasi sinasabi nila, tama ka, totoo yan. Ayan, kung naririnig yung mga manok sila yun.
Yes, shoutout din sila dun sa gilid.
Ayan, kami yun.
Shoutout sa mga manok.
Kasi hindi niyo daw siya pinapansin. Kalipad din kami. From Leopoldo Flores, hello FA Shane, what is the most memorable experience you had on board?
Memorable experience? Isa po din yung, syempre, kapag meron ka nagiging passenger na artista, ayun talaga. Hindi kasi lahat ng flight attendant nagkakaroon ng ganong passenger, 'di ba? At yung nakasama ko sa flight lagi, hindi ako operating pero kasama ko sa flight yung family ko. Yan, kasi 'di ba, napaka-unusual na ngayon nung hindi pa pandemic, yung last naming travel na makasama yung family. And ako, habang passenger kaming lahat, sobrang happy na ako doon. Hindi lahat ng pamilya nakakapag-travel. So, para sa akin, that's my most unforgettable flight experience.
Yes, I think lahat ng cabin crew, isa yan sa mga goals natin, no? Yung to travel with our family, to bring them somewhere. Whether malapit, malayo, domestic, international, doesn't matter. Basta talaga, isa sa mga goals yan pag naging FA ka na, mabiyahe ko yung pamilya ko. Speaking of artista, can you name yung pinaka naalala mo or I'm sure kasi yung iba depende sa kung fan tayo or hindi eh. So parang sino yung pinaka kumbaga pag nakita mo fans na fans ako, ganyan.
Nakakatuwa si Bea Alonzo. Yun yung sobrang top 1 ko talaga, yun si Bea. Kasi R1 ako, nasa harap kami. So Airbus A320 to, nasa kami, forward facing, aft facing kami, sabihin tapat namin yung pasahero. Tapos nakaupo si Bea Alonzo sa 1A. Ayan. So, talagang magkatapat lang talaga kami. And, ma-feel mo talaga sa kanya na hindi siya yung ibang mga artista kasi marami na din na akong naging passenger na parang, ay, nakakahiya, parang ganun. Sobrang welcoming nung aura niya. So, yun yung nakakatuwa kay Bea Alonzo.
Oo, di ba? Tapos parang wala lang, kakwentuhan mo lang,
Oh,
maliit
di
na
ba?
bagay, di ba?
Wala siyang choice kasi wala siyang pupuntahan.
Parang
Nasa
ngayon, no,
cabin lang siya.
parang ngayon, si Shane, kakwentuhan natin, wala lang, maliit na bagay.
Hindi.
Ganyan. Did you ever have a foreign, already, if may maalala ka na foreign celebrity na naging passenger?
Before, nung ground attendant ako, kasi syempre
Emirates,
Emirates.
madami.
Oo. Pero
Can you
nung
name
ngayong
one
flight
kung
attendant,
naalala mo?
si Shane Filan ng Westlife. Yan talaga. Biggest flex
Okay.
ko yun ng life ko. Kasi syempre, Westlife yun, di ba? Yun yung
O,
makakaad ko makalimutan.
di ba, hindi makarelate yung iba? Kasi ako din, kasi mga Justin Bieber na
Ha?
naabutan ko siya. Sino ba
Pag
yung,
ako.
sino ba yung Westlife?
Sino yung Westlife? Ayan, search nyo na lang. Yan po yung namin, mga parang
Yan ang
BTS
assignment.
namin nung araw. Ayan.
And Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Westlife,
Oo.
yan. Yung
Mm-mm.
nabasa ko sa Google, ha? Kasi yun nga.
Ah?
One Direction na kasi
Justin
naabutan ko.
Bieber.
Ganyan. Justin Bieber, One Direction.
Ayan.
Um, from Christopher, top 3 favorite destination. Either a layover or a personal trip. Siguro, can you give ba magkaibang sagot? Kasi, syempre, depende sa airline yung mga destination na layovers natin. So, can you give like a favorite na layover sa inyong airline and sa mga trip mo? Ayan, please.
Ayan. Top 1 ko talaga is Incheon, Korea. Ayan. Wala talaga makakaalis niya sa heart. Ganun. Kasi, even nung kami doon, nag-travel lang kami, hindi siya layover, I fell in love with Korea na. And ganun din, nung layover mismo, kasi unlimited na, kahit saan ka na pumunta, ganyan, wala nang And next, syempre, Singapore, then Hong Kong. And yan tatlo. Hindi, China. Ang dami actually. Hindi mo siya masabing tatlo lang yung favorite mo. Pero ang dami nila, di ba?
Actually, that's one of the things that most of us love. I think kayo din as aspirants, pag tinatanong, why do you want to be a flight attendant? Mga 80% siguro travel. And it's true. That's one of the perks. If you remember si Erica Agners, who we had last week, she stayed in Cebu Pacific for I think 2 to 3 years if I remember correctly. Pero she made sure lahat ng destination nilipad niya bago siya mag-leave ng airline. So talagang sinulit niya lahat. And of course, that's one of the things that we enjoy. From Mitchie, I was just curious, during your job interview before you finally became a flight attendant, what do you think was your advantage and edge among aspirants? Aba, kumbaga, kung HR ako, ang tanong namin, why should we hire you?
Grabe, no? My edge siguro that time was ground attendant ako ng isang airline, malaking airline. Feeling ko yun yung naging edge ko, and aviation-related yung course ko. Yun yung masasabi ko na advantage ko sa lahat ng mga aspirants that time. Kasi related yung course ko sa aviation. So may isip na-feel ko na may isip ng interviewer na ay, may may knowledge na to sa ating And next is yung aking background, diba? Work background, naging na ako, ground attendant. So alam ko na yung mga terms, alam na natin yung mga ganap sa mga airline, ganyan. And last, syempre advantage ko din is, nung time na yun, kasama ko ang Panginoon, diba? Kasama natin ang Panginoon nung nag-apply ako as a flight attendant.
Yeah, no, we always say that to be a flight attendant, experience is not required, but it is always an advantage. Parang college course lang yan. It's not a necessity to take a tourism or flight attendant related course, but of course, there will always be advantages to that. But it's still up to you as a person, as an aspirant, kung paano mo i-market or how will you go on with your journey to becoming a flight attendant. Kasi yun nga, si Shane, similar college course, ako malayo, yung iba tourism, but still, we are all here. Yun yung maganda sa industry namin. Lahat binibigyan ng pagkakataon. Almost everybody. So, try lang. So, if you are working, kahit wala sa, sabi nga ni Shane, hindi ka ground staff or whatever, that's still an advantage because meron ka ng experience in the customer service industry.
Yes.
So, it just depends on how you look at it. If you are a student, wala kang experience working, but you have fresh eyes, you have fresh legs, you have the enthusiasm to apply and be part of the industry at a young age. So again, just depends on how you look at it. Pero what's important is take the first step. Dito lang kami. Push lang
Yes.
ng push. Pero,
Oo, okay.
okay yan. Sabi niya, kaya niya yan. From Jefferson Garcia, are you a born-again Christian, Miss Shane? So sobrang random siguro.
Baptist.
Baptist.
Ako.
All right. From Pat Morante, beautiful in white. Soon, Miss Shane. Curious ako sa itsura ni Doc Boy sa mga gantong comments. Beautiful in white.
Ayaw niya. Camera shy.
Oo, yes.
Camera shy siya. Wala nandiyan siya.
But send our highs and hellos to Doc Boy.
Ayan, nasabi niya naman. I didn't know, nahiya siya.
From Mitchie, when you're a cabin crew, you will be dealing with people and different attitudes, especially the irate ones. What was your worst experience with them that almost made you cry, felt so down, and broke your heart? Grabe naman.
Wow, grabe naman yun.
Siguro, the most difficult experience with a passenger. Grabe. Ipupunta ka sa banyo, tapos iiyak mo yung sakit.
Iiyak ko na lang, ganyan. Naku, ako, nagpapasalamat naman ako sa 5-year career ko as a flight attendant. Never pa naman akong nakaka-experience ng talagang inalipusta ako, talagang gano'n, 'di ba? Aminin na natin, may mga gano'n talaga kasing stories, 'di ba? Pero sa case ko, wala pa akong na-experience na gano'n, na magsabi na may mag-ano sa akin talaga, mang-away talaga. Kasi kapag halimbawa na may attitude, ganyan, hindi ko talaga alam, pero mas wino-welcome sila, binibigyan talaga natin sila ng more attention, na kahit na ganun yung attitude nila, mapapakita natin na hindi tayo magpapadala sa ganung attitude, ganyan. Most especially kapag halimbawa na may gustong magpabuhat ng mga bags, ganyan. Talaga sabihin mo lang na, ma'am, tulong po tayo. Kapag nagtaray na, ngingiti ka lang, ganyan. Kasi talagang ngingiti ako lang talaga sila, tapos promise talaga, natatawa. Hindi ko lang kung bakit ganito yung way ko ng pag-deal sa kanila. Pero pagkatalikod ko talaga, hindi ako nag-joke, pero tumatawa lang talaga, mga ganun lang talaga ako sa kanila. Kasi, alam mo yun, na-realize ko kasi, syempre, Amor was also worked with ground, 'di ba? Nakakita ko din 'yun sa iyong background na nakapag ground attendant ka din. And doon nasabihan kami na kapag nagalit yung passenger or yung mga customers natin, hindi sila nagagalit sa iyo personally. Nagagalit sila sa sitwasyon. Kaya yun yung nasa isip ko lang. Kaya kapag halimbawa na may mga ganun nangyayari, tinatawanan ko lang. Never pa akong, hindi ko na. Yung ganyan, wala po nangyari sa akin ganun.
Tas lalo silang maiinis sa'yo, no? Kasi bakit saya mo pa rin? Gusto ko magalit.
Hindi lang ako, bakit?
Oo, ganun talaga minsan. And I think this is a good lesson, not just in the customer service industry, but life in general, that bad things will come, but sometimes it depends on how you look at them. Merong and sabi nga ni Shane talaga, may mga customers minsan na talaga, yeah, totoo yan. In any job, I'm sure, lahat meron na may iba't ibang levels. Kahit sabihin natin, ay parang maliit na bagay lang, pero still meron. But again, it depends on how you look at it. Pero kung maging affected ka, I think that's okay. Tao ka rin naman, nasasaktan, nalulungkot, affected. Pero again, please do not let it take over yung ideas niya kung paano kayo mag-work. Kasi it will reflect on how you work, and you don't want to be known as somebody else like that. Kaya nga tayo nagtatrabaho dito. Siguro, iba rin kasi pag kilala mo na ay, si Shane buhat to, hindi na lang ako magagalit, mag-aanap na lang ako ng iba. May advantage pa tayo, no? May ganun. One last one. Ayun na, okay, from Mitchie. So, grabe bitin yung oras, no? Minsan lang. Sana pwede pa maulit. Shane, do you have anything to promote? Your social media, of course, other than you have mentioned that already, but anything else or a business or please, the floor is yours. Ay, you lost your audio. Your audio. Sorry.
Ayan.
Ayan.
Hello mga kalipad. Ayan. So, thank you sa pag-invite sa akin dito. Thank you, Amor, no? Sobrang nakakabitin yung 1 hour for me. But, ayun, please follow me sa aking mga social media accounts. Sa mga hindi pa nakafollow na mga, mga attendees natin dyan. FA Shane Buhat on YouTube. FA_ Shane Buhat sa TikTok and Laika. And Shaney, 3 E, Buhat on Instagram. So, yun yung aking mga social media accounts. And yung mga admin ko, kasi syempre, my subscribers are growing, mga admin. May admin ako and they are promoting our merch. Hello Kalipad Official. So, if you are interested, ngayon may parang batch 2. So, please support us sa sa merch. Hello Kalipad Official on Instagram and
Ayan.
Facebook. And thank you.
All right. So again, thank you very much, Shane. Let's support our merch. Alam mong lumalaki na yung brand mo pag nagkaka-merch ka na eh. Yun talaga
Blessing.
kasi yung isa dyan, ewan ko kung si Mod, naku, magkaka-merch na rin. Nag-uusapan natin yan, merch. All right. So again, thank you very much, Shane. And ito na ang
Thank
pinakihintay natin. Let's all take a picture. Ayan, di ba? Naglabas. Alam nyo na. Naglabas na lahat. David, ingat habang nagda-drive, David James, you're still driving and you're here with us. Shout out sa mga ibang speakers that are here already. I see Nicole and the others. All right, let's take a picture. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Let's go one more. Let's do one more. Sorry. All right, for first page, 1, 2, 3. For the second page, ayan, hello sa inyo. Hello Stephanie, Christopher, Ed, Jefferson. Ayan, kasama niyo si Nicole sa picture. 1, 2, 3. And for our last, all right, those 2 pages, let's do one more para extra. All right, so thank you again, Shane. Thank you,
Thank you
salamat.
so much, Amor.
And
Sir Bon, thank you.
We'll have a 2-minute break and we'll see you for the next speaker.
Thank you.
I think I made it sa 20 minutes, Sir Amor. Grabe. So, yun lang, guys. If you have any questions,
all right.
I'll answer.
Thank you.
Grabe, kinakabahan ako.
So it just proves, like sabi nga ni Shane, like what I always say, life comes in moments, and when you have reached your goal, you look forward to the next one. So to most of you right here, the goal is to become a flight attendant, and for us, na habang nandun na, we look forward to other goals. Hindi lang si Nicole, hindi lang, I remember after no mga day 1, day 2, nag-message din sila Althea na, more kinakabahan kami kasi first time namin. So at one point, lahat tayo, di ba? There's always something that we can do for the first time. And that's another goal. So parang hindi naman first time, parang ano lang.
Lakas ng loob lang, Sir Amor.
Alright, so like what I said earlier, again, thank you, Nicole. For those who have questions, babalikan natin, just type it right there. Siguro, if I may just elaborate, like, na may nag-ask kanina yung dun sa part na ano yung si Michi, like be prepared, practice. I think Nicole made an important point about this. I also talk about this. Yung sinabi niya to prepare, including your answers. So ang style niya, have one word para tuloy-tuloy na yung kumbaga, yun yung guideline niya para alam niya yung sasabihin niya. Ako naman, to other people, I tell them, the internet is there. You can Google kung ano yung usual questions. And with that being said, you can also practice your answers. Sabi nga niya, wag memorize kasi parang robot, parang hindi natural. That's why ako naman, ang personal advice ko is, write it down para kahit na memorize nyo, sa inyo pa rin ang galing. So it will still come out naturally. yun yung sinasabi ko about that. It's almost similar to what Nicole said na practicein. Iba yung kumuha ka ng quote sa, kuwari, sagot ni Amor or sagot ni ganyan, kinuha mo, minemorize mo, sinabi mo, it will come out differently. Iba pa rin pag sa'yo nang galing. I think that's one of the things na we always say about practice and communication skills. Sinabi nga niya, it's very important. Yes, sa industry namin, napaka-importante. But I think most, if not all industries, communication skills are very important. Kaya that in itself is a reason to practice or to try to learn or try to be confident. O isipin nyo, di ba? Sino ba makakapagsabi na first time ni Nicole mag-speak in front of other people? Di ba? Parang di halata. Pero it's because of also everything that she has practiced before, nung estudyante siya, nung nagtatrabaho siya. So, lahat yan, pag dumating yung moment na kailangan mo ilabas, kahit kinakabahan ka, lalabas ka, you will perform, you will give your best, and it will be more than enough. Yan.
If I may add, sir, no, dun sa practice, try to talk with yourself in front of the mirror. Yan, makakatulong yan. Tapos, pag sa impact interview, act like a flight attendant talaga. Kasi yon, dun yung makukuha talaga yung mga recruiter.
Yes, because they look at you with the premise of you are already a flight attendant. Yun yung isa sa mga dahilan kung ba't minamata nila kayo mula ulo hanggang paa. Kasi ini-imagine na nila na kayo yun. So you should embody it the moment you step foot inside kung saan man kayo mag-a-apply. Di ba? From Gianna, what is your study habit now? Kung sabi niya, kung yung dati, rely ka lang sa stock knowledge. Medyo ganyan din ako eh. Confident lang sa stock knowledge. Oo, pero
Lalakas na loob.
Lakas ng loob lang. Tapos onting cram sa last minute. Yun ako eh. Did your study habit change or more or less?
Yes, sir. Actually, doon ko lang siya nabuo. And that time, yun nga, sabi ko nga kanina, parang yung schedule kasi ng training namin is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So parang at 4 a.m., doon ako nagre-review. Kasi parang pagdating ko ng 7 p.m. sa bahay, pagod na ako. Sobrang drain na ako sa traffic. Diba? Yung pagko-commute ko kasi before talagang araw-araw. So na-drain na ako. Doon ako sa umaga nagre-review. And nagle-list down lang ako ng mga keywords. Yan, sa mga questions, possible questions na itanong during our exams. So yun lang, review lang yung mga possible questions kasi bibigyan naman kila yun ng handout. So dun yung makikita rin yung mga possible questions sa exams.
Yes, yan. So what one important thing I always say to students, try to learn your study habits. Kasi hindi porket nag-work kay Nicole, nag-work sa akin, ay mag-work sa inyo. But at least you have an idea kung ano yung itatry nyo in the future. From Mitchie, we have, yung nagsabi, kamukha mo si Barbie. We have mutual friends, Sheena and Cassandra Lorzano, former FAs of 5J also. Ayun.
Sheena, I think si Sheena, nakasabay ko siya mag-apply sa PALEX. Tapos, siya yung nagsabi sa akin na mag-apply ka sa SEBA. Kaya until now, friends kami. And hindi man siya rin natanggap sa PALEX, sir. Ako naman nagsabi sa kanya, mag-try ka dito sa Soler. Siya naman yung natanggap doon. So, until now, friends kami ni Sheena.
Di ba? Like, ang ganda nga ng kwento ni Nicole kasi hindi natanggap and it led to somewhere better. Sabi nga niya, somewhere bigger, somewhere better. And not for anything, parang syempre lahat tayo may kanya-kanya tayong idea or mindset about this company or personal preference, no? Sabi nga niya, nako, wala akong idea na mag-a-apply ako sa Cebu Pacific kasi may personal preference ka for this company. But the Lord works in mysterious ways and sabi ko nga, sometimes He closes some doors for you because He has a path laid out for you which is bigger and better than you imagine. Pero as of now, you have not realized it yet. So minsan nakafocus tayo dito, tas ayoko dyan. Pero para dyan ka pala. Kasi ito talaga ang nakalaan na path na para sa'yo. At nung nandun ka na, saka mo na-realize na, kaya pala. Kaya pala. So from Jefferson Garcia, I can relate po. Way back when I was 10 or 11, the concept of being an FA for me was a glamorous job with fresh faces. But now as I grow up, mas natututunan natin yung mga bagay-bagay. And right now, mas na-in-love ako sa job itself. God bless us all. So, sometimes you look at it as yun nga, something as, glamorous. Kasi yun lang yung nakikita natin. Pero now, with more information, it's like you build a relationship, a deeper relationship with being a flight attendant. Ang ganda, Jefferson. That's a very nice comment. Yan, si Michi. One word, keyword. Ayan, from Ian Christopher. Nakaka-relate po ako sa iyo, Miss Nicole, kasi way back when I was in college, I am the type of student po na not so studious. But when I started working in the BPO company, I realized na I need to study hard for me to pass the training. And not just to pass the training, of course, you want to be your best in anything that you do. So sa trabaho
Yeah.
mo, di ba? You wanna be your best. I think sa lahat ng speakers, si Nicole talaga ang pinaka-relatable kasi mahirap man tanggapin pero kayo yung magkaka-age bracket na.
Oo.
Aminin ko na kayo talaga ang magkaka-age bracket. If you don't mind, Nicole, what age did you graduate? 18, 19? I think you
Hindi sir, I think 20, 22.
22. Yan, 22.
Yeah.
Then 5 years. Tama ba? How many years in 5J?
5 months lang sir. I graduated
5 months.
2019 tapos nag-apply
Ayun.
na ako noon. So 5 months siya kaso nagkaroon nga
Yan.
ng pandemic.
So yun,
Yan.
Yan, kasi nga pala, nalala ko, may nag-comment kanina, what is 5J? So 5J is Cebu Pacific. Yeah, so we'll clarify that. She says 5J, it's Cebu Pacific. So technically, you're in the same shoes with everybody else, no?
Yes.
Pero Nicole got a taste of flight, of being a flight attendant. Now, meron akong sakto kasi isa-segue ko na dun sa phone-in question. With that being said, knowing what you know now, knowing what happened or what will happen to you, would you still go through all of it?
Yes,
Or
sir.
you think,
Definitely. I can't
And
wait. Kasi
maybe know
feel ko
why?
kasi parang feel ko mas geared up na ako. Parang na-experience ko na 2 beses, 2 company. Sabi ko parang, kaya pa siguro makapasa sa pangatlo. And hindi rin ako na, I'm back to being an aspiring flight attendant. Wala yun sa akin. Hindi yun masakit or everything or anything. Kasi, hopeful ako and I know i-practice natin yung mind natin and i-claim na natin na magiging flight attendant tayo once nag-rehiring talaga sila. Kasi ang kalaban mo lang naman talaga dyan, hindi yung mga, yung mga nag-a-apply din. Kasi syempre, ang gaganda talaga ng mga yan, ang tatangkad, ang kikinis. Pero huwag kayong nahihinaan ng loob kasi ang kalaban mo dyan yung sarili mo. You have to believe na you can be a flight attendant. Kasi if hindi ka maniniwala sa sarili mo, then makikita yon pagdating ng mga interviews mo. So, yun.
Yes, true. So, with that being said, what is your, may follow-up question kasi, what's next? So, you tried it, you had the experience, it's a short-lived experience as of now, not yet muna. What's next for you? What are your immediate plans in the next few months or years?
Right now, sir, I'm working in a good company and happy ako kasi dito, nag-gain rin ako ng experience. Hindi lang naman ako nag-stop. Ayoko kasi yung parang, hindi naman tayo pwedeng mag-iintay lang or hinto yung mundo natin sa pag-apply, di ba? Mag-iintay tayo ng what if next year pa siya? What if later this year pa? So, hindi yun pwede. Kailangan mag-gain tayo ng more experience and more practice and magbasa-basa tayo para mas nahahasa yung skills natin, especially yung communication skills. Ayan.
Kumbaga like what Nicole is trying to say, hindi naman natin binibitawan yung pangarap. We are moving forward with the thought of our dreams in the future. Like sabi nga niya, she's working right now but still trying to enhance herself, her communication skills, her reading. Because also in the long run, when we start hiring, let's say, kunwari, in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, better skilled, customer service-wise, more confidence, better communication skills, at the end of the day, ikaw pa rin nag-improve. So, magre-reklamo ka pa ba doon? You improved already, di ba? Always moving forward. Comment from Candice Gold, kept me too, haha, cramming. Di ba? Best
Cramming.
Matalino lang mga for half day tapos wala na, nakalimutan. Ang exam lang ang laman yun. From Mitchie, ito maganda. What if questions eh. The reason why you did not make it to Pal Express. Siguro what reason do you think, what was the reason why you did not make it to Pal Express? And what was the reason you think that's why you made it to Cebu Pacific?
Maybe because it's not yet my time to be part of Philippine Airlines Express. But I think na-hire ako sa Cebu Pacific because they believe in the fun fun personality. And ako, feel ko from the impact interview panel and executive, nag-fit in ako doon sa standards sila ng pagkakaroon ng fun, bubbly personality. So, yun kasi yung branding ng Cebu Pacific.
Yes.
So, I think yun yung naging advantage ko that day.
Ayan. So, ayan, ang galing. If you know what sometimes I talk about preparation, perspective, and perfect timing. Minsan, yung preparation and perspective mo, hasang-hasa na, akala mo, ito na, best version ko na. Pero sabi nga ni Nicole, minsan yung perfect timing it's out of your control. So, yung Pal Express, yung timing that was not for her, again, it leads you to somewhere bigger, somewhere better, and for Cebu Pacific, ayun na. Dun siya talaga. So it happens to everybody. So that's not, failure is not a reason to stop. Sabi nga niya, punta ka sa jeep, iyak ka kahit nakakahiya, damdamin mo. Okay lang yan. Basta bumangon pagkatapos. Di ba? Lahat naman tayo may moment.
Oo.
Mag-walling ka pa kung gusto mo.
Kung pwede ko nga lang sila, sir, pababain lahat sa jeep para yung moment ko. Akin lang, pero hindi.
Direct
Iyak
zoom
talaga ako yun.
Direct zoom mo dito, tutuloy yung luwa sa kaliwa.
Oo. Akala ko kasi nun, sir, sabi ko, akala ko my dreams was shattered. Akala ko yun na yun eh. Pero hindi pala. So, yun. Thankful ako kasi bumangon ako agad nun.
Yes. As, nakakatawa, no? Minsan sabihin, yun nga, it's true, like what she said, real talk na eh. Hindi sinasabi kung bakit di ka tanggap. So, ano kulang sa akin? Ano mali sa akin? Hindi ba ako sapat?
Bakit parang kasalanan ko?
Yan yung mga linyahan natin. Ngayon natatawa tayo kasi tapos na, pero nung moment na yun, di ba dinadamdam mo?
Ang sakit-sakit talaga. Mas masakit pa sa heartbreak.
Pero again, it's up to you to look into yourself and try to move forward from it. Ayan, di ba? Mas masakit pa sa heartbreak. Grabe. Kasi pangarap mo eh. Like, it's true. Baka nga kasi sabi ni Nicole, like most of you, childhood dream. Talaga. If it's something that you cannot get, it's heartbreaking. I think the answer mo na to kanina, pero may I just ask din since na-phone in question. Does being a flight attendant live up to its hype? Was it everything that you expected it to be? Or mostly?
Mostly, sir. Oo, totoo. Pero I think yung hype na yun, nasa sa'yo yun eh, kung paano mo siya iti-take, kung paano mo siya dadalhin in your everyday life. And nung time na yun, parang sabi ko, parang medyo may proud moments ako na talagang FA ako, ganyan-ganyan. Pero I took a step back and then I just want to keep my feet grounded lang eh. Kasi ayoko nung parang, minsan kasi, di ba, lalo pag sa airport, pag naglalakad ka, pag titinginan ka, parang artista. Feeling na artista. So, yun lang. Minsan hindi ko na siya talaga iniisip. Sabi ko, this is my work and gagawin ko yung best ko. Maging flight attendant man ako or hindi, I will do my 100% sa job na kung ano meron ako.
So it's nice what she said, no? When you're at the height of your dreams or whatever success, it's nice to step back and look at all of it for you to keep it, for you to be grounded. At least nakuha mo yung childhood dream mo, di ba? May rampa-rampa.
Oh, sir. Oo.
Every time na magka-cabin check ka, nagtatrabaho ka talaga, naghahanap ka ng basurang pupulutin or kung ano man. Pero syempre, rampa-rampa kasama yun eh. Kasama yung screening eh. For segue again to another question. For the last 5 months, for the time that you were a flight attendant, what was the worst thing? Iti-twist natin yung tanong mo, Ante. What was the worst?
I think, sir, parang worst thing sa pagiging flight attendant, I think wala. Para sa akin, sir, wala eh. Kasi lahat naman, kung mayroon man tayong mga worst experience na mga maliliit lang sa araw-araw, hindi mo na kasi iisipin yun eh. Kasi pag inisip mo yun, parang sabihin ng pangarap mo, oh, di ba ginusto mo to? Nandito ka na eh, sabi, di ba? So, pag mga ganun na experience ko, every day, nung lumilipad pa ako, iniisip ko lang, ito yung ginusto ko and it's part of the job. So, dapat nagluluk lang ako sa bright side. Hindi ko dapat masyado nilulugmok yung sarili ko kung ano mang worst na nangyari on that flight. So, ayun lang. Positive lang ako lagi.
I love that quote. I love hearing that quote. It's part of the job. Sometimes, we always just look at the good parts of it na nakakalimutan natin na, yes, it's part of the job. Kaya kung maririnig nyo, most of the flight attendants, pag nag-uusap-usap, laging sinasabi, handa na ba kayo maglinis ng banyo? Kasi,
Oo.
totoo yan. It's part of the job talaga, pero parang ayaw maniwala ng mga tao. Parang ayaw,
Oo.
in denial yung last week, yung topic namin, the week either, the week before that, parang in denial yung mga tao, you know. So, what was since naisip ko na naman yung banyo, what was the dirtiest lavatory experience that you had?
Totoo ba? Kailangan talaga sagutin.
Alas kung gusto mo.
Ayoko nang isipin. Ayoko nang balikan, sir.
Yeah, minsan may mga bagay na binabaon sa limot, no? Tulad ng maruruming banyo. If you were not an FA after you applied, I mean, after graduation, di ka nag-apply at natanggap. Ano sa tingin mong industry na nandun ka ngayon? What are you
Ako,
doing?
sir, sa tingin ko, right now kasi I'm entrepreneur din. So, before din ako, high school pa lang ako nagbibenta na. Mahilig ako magbenta ng mga damit, ganyan. Kahit flying na ako, sir, nagbibenta ako ng mga makeup, ganyan. So, dinadala ko siya sa maleta ko. So, para madali lang makabenta with my, co-cabin crew, di ba? So, ang dali lang makabenta nun. And right now, grateful ako na kahit hindi na ako FA, kahit aspiring na ulit ako, meron pa rin andun pa rin yung business ko. So, yung business ko na hindi lang naman nakakatulong sa akin, kundi para rin sa ibang tao.
Yes. Oo, no? Actually, minsan talaga pag flight attendant ka na, buy and sell ang kadikit na pangalan ng pagiging flight attendant. Bakit ka mo? Because the opportunity is there. Minsan hindi mo sasayangin na you get to meet people, the people you work with. So, yun na nga, nagdadala siya ng things to sell. And also, you have access to other things from other countries.
Yeah.
Magugulat ka na, ang mura pala dito.
Oo.
Sa Pinas ang mahal. Para sabi ko nga, halos lahat, ako personally, sinasabi ko nga, halos lahat ng bagay, mahal sa Pinas except dried mangoes. Parang pagpunta ko sa ibang lugar, ay, mura pala to, ganyan. So same, I think most of us become nagbabuy and sell na rin pag naging flight attendants or we have our own businesses. What aspect of your life, I know you talked about this already and you mentioned it actually, nag-breakdown ka pa, but then again, what aspect of your life changed since you became a flight attendant? Kumbaga, alam mo na ganito na ako dahil naging flight attendant ako.
I think mas naging patient ako kasi I can admit na mas impatient ako before kasi syempre medyo bata pa ako. So pag may mga nakikita akong mga bagay-bagay, parang madalis ako mainis. Pero balik-balik-taran pala pag yung flight attendant ka, ikaw pala yung kaiinisan. So ayun, mas naging impatient ako, mas naging understanding ako sa ibang tao. And I'm proud to say na mas naging okay yung pakikisama ko. Kasi iba't ibang tao araw-araw, iba't ibang kalipad, di ba? So hindi mo naman matatansya kung mabait ba or medyo mataray yung kalipad mo, medyo senior, di ba? Hindi naman mawawala yun. Pero I think yung pakikisama ko, proud ako doon na mas naging okay siya and mas naging marami akong bagay na natutunan din during flying. And I know madadala ko yun on my next journey sa pag-a-apply pag okay na.
And speaking of kalipad, what was actually na-mention niyo, pareho sila ng sinabi ni Shane, no? It really helps yung yung mindset sa customers, yung how you look at things. And since you mentioned kalipad, meron ka bang makukwento about sa not so happy experience with the kalipad?
Sige.
Or hindi sobrang...
Kwento ko na yan, sir.
Not so, lang.
Sige, kwento ko na yan. Parang isusumbong ko na siya. Isusumbong ko na siya sa inyo.
Don't name names.
Hindi ko siya, Pero ayun, sobrang, I think that was my, kung may worst, kung hindi ko tinignan yung bright side nun, siguro yun yung masasagot ko kanina sa question ng worst experience. Kasi, medyo talaga, kilala na siya, yung senior na to. Kasi senior siya, I think 10 years, mahigit na rin siya sa SEBAC. Pero, ayun, nag-fly kami nun 4 legs. So, parang first leg pa lang, grabe na siya magsigaw. Parang, di ba, nasa harapan kami, tapos may second most senior, and syempre, dapat, usually pag ganun, sir, di ba sila yung close, parang ganyan. Pero hindi. Siya talaga ang kumagang tawag namin, doon yung term namin. Siya yung senyora. Siya yung senyora. So, siya yung madam. Tapos, ang position ko nun is, R2 ako na nasa likod, pero yung R1, ay yung oven nasa harap. So, pagka di ininit ko doon, tapos hindi gumagana yung oven. Yun ang dahilan. Yun lang, sobrang liit lang, yun ang dahilan. Tapos sabi ko, Miss, sorry, hindi po talaga gumagana yung oven. Ganyan, paano po kaya gagawin natin? Kasi frozen pa yung pagkain nila, Captain.
Yeah.
Sabi ba naman niya, ba't hindi mo alam? Sabi niya, trabaho mo yan. Sabi niya, ginanon ako. Sabi ko, parang 1 month flying pa lang ako, magto 2 months. Sabi ko, ano bang malay ko doon, di ba? So, ano bang malay ko kung walang oven, kung hindi nagana yung oven? Ano mangyayari? Tapos in-flight na, ganyan, galit na galit siya, sir, kahit pinag-iinitan niya pati yung nasa likod, yung L2 ko, second most senior, pinag-iinitan niya. As in, nagbubunga nga siya doon. Yun yung talaga yung term, nagbubunga siya doon kahit may mga pasahero. Tapos, nung nag-sorry ako sa kanya, may mga kasi, may mga sakay kami na parang executive rin ng SEBPAC, nasa unahan. So, syempre, nagpunta ako. Sabi ko, sorry po, miss, kasi syempre, takot ka nun magkaroon ng yung report eh. So, kailangan good record ka.
Sorry, miss.
So, tapos, so medyo hindi, takot ako magkaroon ng report. Tapos sabi, so syempre, nag-sorry ako, kahit alam ko naman na wala akong kasalanan. So, ganun, parang feel ko ang galing ko dun sa pakikisama. Kahit siya na yung medyo, maldi nung time na yon, ako pa rin niya nag-sorry. Tapos, ayun, okay naman siya. Kaso, ganun talaga daw yung personality niya. And the next day na nakalipad ako, sabi nung kalipad ko, naku, ganyan talaga yung ugali niyan. Kilala na yan dito, kaya hindi nga napopromote. Ayan. Grabe talaga yun. Parang gusto ko kainin na lang ako ng lupa nun.
Pero alam mo na, no, kahit makasama mo siya ulit, yes, medyo ayaw, iffy, pero at least alam mo na, you have the confidence to handle it. Comment from Mond Ortiz familiar, comment from Candice
Hi, Sir
Gold.
Mond.
Candice Gold. Sino to? I think I know. Kasi, di ba, doon ka nang galing kung 10 years daw. Naku, naabutan mo to, Candice.
Sige, i-chat ko po sa inyo.
Actually, yung pangalan niya, Candice Gold. Kaya siya, si Candice pala no? And I think it's just not in the airline industry. In any job naman, there are not necessarily seniors or juniors. You will have somebody that you will work with na ganyan. Iba yung, let's say, hindi match sa personality mo. But again, like what Nicole said, at the end of the day, it's just how you look at it. And you look at it at her at her perspective, na bago siya. Lahat tayo nung bago tayo sa trabaho, ganun. Ayaw natin ma-report, lahat tayo takot. Kasi hindi pa nga tayo regular eh. So talagang nagugulat tayo, ay may ganito pala at may mga bagay na hindi natuturo sa training. Diba dapat alam mo yan, Nicole, kasi kakagraduate mo lang. So dapat yung may alam sa lahat. Kaya dapat ginawa mo, ay oo nga ma'am, teka lang ha. Tapos pinatong mo sa ulo niya. Ayan ma'am, mainit yung ulo mo, mainit na yung bimiro mo na lang, no? Pero ganun talaga. We will encounter 1 or 2 people who are like this when we were working. And we are working. And don't take it against them, just how you react to it. And like what she said, she looked at it at a different light. Challenging, pero mas confident na siya. She's a better cabin crew, a better colleague. Para pag nag-work na kayo ulit, baka nga ngayon, beso-beso na kayo, ma'am, flying with you. Diba? Minsan gano'n, parang tatawanan mo na lang. Tulad nga na sinasabi ni Shay na sa akin din, like, let's say, somebody in our airline or in general, minsan hindi kayo match. Tapos, pero pag nag-work na kayo, yes, work-wise, hindi kayo okay, but that's just it. Minsan may mga kahit friends. Ito, hindi ko alam kung aaminin ng mga ibang cabin crew, pero minsan yung mga barkada mo or the people that you are really close with, minsan ayaw mo sila katrabaho because magkaiba ang work ethic nyo. And sometimes that happens. Pero don't take it against them. Pero yun lang. Baka sa trabaho magkaiba kayo, pero after, like, super cool and you're super friends. It happens. Sabi ni Mon, padalhan mo na lang ng senior ng 5 gems. Ma'am,
Salay ka ba ito?
Ma'am, may like ka ba? Wala, gagawin kitang account. Gawin mo, tapos bigyan. Yan. O, di ba? Sabi ni Candice, ako pala yun, Hindi siya nagbago, nag-resign lang siya. Candice. Do you have anybody else? If you have more questions, please type it down. But, we're having a short time. Mon, ikaw, may kilala ka ba? Familiar ba? Parang lahat yata ng airline, no? Meron, I'm sure, sa dami mong connection sa iba't ibang airline, meron kang narinig na one story which is similar because it happens in general. Would you agree?
Sir Mond, I think kilala ko mo talaga siya kasi yung si Regine, taga dito rin siya sa Bacoor, siya yung kalipad ko nun. Baka nakwento niya na.
Sino? Yung...
Oh,
Si Regine.
Yeah. Wait, magka-batch kayo ni Regine?
Hindi, medyo mas senior ako. 165 ako, tapos si Regine, 168. Super close rin kami niya ni Regine.
Amor, yan ang yung 168, yan ang batch ni Jemel.
Okay.
Si Jemel, kalipad ko rin.
So, you're
familiar story.
Tama ba yung rinig ko? You're 165, Nicole?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, si Jemel kasi used to be, before she became a flight attendant, shout out sa'yo, Jemel, she was part of my workshops. Yun, yun lang nag-start yung flight attendant story niya. And then, there. Jefferson Garcia, I think ito talaga yung isa sa perks na dream job natin. As we grow, may mga na-encounter tayo ng mga unwanted situations. Pero what is important is at the end of the day, alam na natin na nag-grow tayo at may natututunan tayo sa mga bad situations na yun. Good man or bad. Yes, Nicole is a perfect example. Like when I ask her, looking back, uulitin mo ba? Because some may not like na 5 months, ayoko na, parang nasayang yung oras ko, parang sinaktan lang ako nito. But it's still how you look at it. There is always something good in everything that's happening to you, regardless of what's happening to you. It just depends on how you look at it. And I think that's it, no? I think also all the phone-in questions, that's it. So with that being said, do you have anything to promote social media? And of course, please promote your business. Like what you mentioned, kanina. Yes, please.
Hi guys. So if you can, please follow my shop. It's a beauty store. So ando na lahat ng mga pampapayat, beauty, anything na related sa beauty, andun. It's at Libra Beauty PH. So yon, you can follow it. And then sa Instagram, Nicole as Xavier. And yes, sermon, pampapayat talaga. Coffee. Tapos yan sa YouTube, Nicole Javier, and TikTok, Nicole JV. Ayun. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Nicole. Is the beauty shop? Do you have your own products or you're like distributing different kinds of products?
I handle brands po. Brands. Yun nga, nagdi-distribute ako dito sa Cavite, sa Region 4A, ganyan.
Ayan, so check it out. Huh? And all right, there you go. So with that being said, nagpakita na si David James na hanggang ngayon nagda-drive pa rin, ingat pa rin, same. And let's take a picture for everybody. Okay. Let me just prepare. All right. For the first page, 1, 2, 3. All right. For the second page, ayan, for the second page, kasama niyo si Jermaine, our next speaker. Tanya, Ed, Jasmine, Trish, 1, 2, 3. There you go. All right, again, thank you very much, Nicole. And let's take a few minutes of a break. See you in a bit.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jermaine. Salamat. Ang ganda. Nung sinabi mong cute, tignan mo, sakto bumalik si Mon. Nawala siya.
Naramdaman ko talaga eh.
Oo. Kita mo bumalik, oo. Kala mo, alam niya talaga na tinawag siya. I just want to read some of the comments first before we ask the questions. Again, if you have questions, please feel free. Another very, very beautiful comment from Mayrick Razon. The temptation to quit is greater than success. That is just around the corner. Because sometimes we don't see success, hindi natin nakikita. Kaya yung value niya, hindi natin appreciate. It's easier to stop and, not look at the now than work for the future. Very nice comment from Mayrick. And another one, if you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. If you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Jefferson Garcia, naiyak ako while listening to Miss Jermaine. Sorry po for taking my cam off. Oh, ayan. Hug po. Ayan. Another one from Jefferson. Same po tayo. My father is also a tricycle driver. And I can say, nakaka-inspire po talaga yung pinanggalingan nyo. He and my family are also my main reason why I want to pursue this career. Just to give them a comfortable life that they deserve. Kaya kailangan kong maging working student. God bless your heart po, Ms. Jermaine. May God continue to use you as His instrument to inspire other people as well. And from Jasmine, I love the story. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ayan, so lots of love from the chat box. So salamat Jermaine, salamat Maine for the wonderful talk. Again, for everybody, the floor is open if you have any questions. For the meantime, while you are going to ask, if you're going to ask your questions, ako muna with the phone-in questions. Ayan.
Okay, bring it on.
So you talked about preparation and like what most of us agree upon, like most of the flight attendants, ako, I agree with this very much. And I also talk about preparing to the little detail and hearing Jermaine ina-extend pa niya further to talagang kung todo na, isasagad pa ni Jermaine when she talks about preparation. So now she also talked about, yes, you can prepare, yes, you can try to be ready, but we also cannot discount the fact na regardless of what we prepare for, there's still feelings inside that stop us from moving forward. And one of those is fear. For whatever reason. Alam ko, binanggit mo kanina, no, sinasabi natin, kesyo hindi ako enough, kesyo ganito lang ako, kesyo ganyan. Lahat tayo, maraming dahilan. And this is in general, life in general, not just to achieve your flight attendant dream. So in your own words, or if you can give us simple advice, how do you defeat fear?
Wow! Talagang pang todo yung question. How do you defeat fear? Parang pang Miss Universe. How do I defeat fear? Well, thank you, Sir Amor, for the opportunity, and thank you, Ren, for everything. So for that, the first thing that comes into my mind is to really pray. Because when you pray, it's you telling that, okay, Lord, I'm not that good enough, but with you, I know I can do all things through Christ or with you. And there's nothing impossible with you. So I accept all the limitations I have. Alam ko na kung iaasa ko sa sarili ko, talagang most likely pwedeng hindi ako pumasa, pwedeng sumblay ako. But when I ask God to help me and I acknowledge His power and presence into my life, and then you will be really just so surprised and amazed where God will lead you. And minsan yung parang gusto ko is ito lang, pero si Lord pala, mas matindi pala yung plano niya para sa'yo, sa atin, na mga listeners and participants. Prayer, and then you just really have to maximize all the available information when it comes to applying. But sabi mo nga, in general, diba, sa buhay, yung fear nandyan yan. Pero it's not it's not the absence of fear kasi yung courage. For me, it's the presence of God in your life. And that's the time that you will be courageous to face whatever battles you're gonna be facing. Yun po.
Nice, very nice answer. She just took the words right out of my mouth whenever we talk about fear. She said it's not the absence of fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, but embrace it by the Lord's grace, by your own personal beliefs to move forward and to continue on. So okay lang matakot. That's part of it. Yung isipin nyo yung mga flight attendant na speakers, kinakabahan, natatakot pa rin. But here they are. So kayo din. If your fear is to apply or to try a new goal or to get out of your comfort zone, it's okay. Pero use it as a motivation kung di nyo kaya tanggalin. If you cannot defeat it. If you can, go ahead. Just move forward lang. And meron isa pa. Since you talked about, we talked about moving forward from fear, not really trying to defeat it, but embrace it, or like preparing in everything. And you also mentioned na marami ka rin pinagdaanan. Ang question is, ayan, basahin natin para hindi ako magkamali. What is your insecurity and what is your weakness?
Oh, ayan. Gusto ko yung mga ganyang question eh. So, i-reveal ko yung aking insecurity, and that would be my age. Ayan. Because I told you guys, it was 9 years talaga yung preparation because I was already 29 years old when I applied for a flight attendant job. And
syempre, pag yung mga kasabayan mo, kasing ganda nila Miss Nicole Javier, di ba? Malabar before Tessa, tapos kay bata pa. Parang, ano bang ginagawa ko dito? So, parang, feeling ko, hindi na ako qualified or parang overage na ako. Kasi yun yung sinasabi sa akin ng mga iba eh. Minsan yung mga tao malalapit pa sa'yo yung magsasabi eh, na overage ka na dyan, iha. Hindi ka na magiging flight attendant. So that would be my greatest insecurity. Pero by God's grace, sabi ko, Lord, I don't want to live a life with regret. Okay sa akin na tinry ko and I did my part and whatever the result may be, I leave everything up to you. So, yun, yung sa insecurity. Ano yung isa? Meron po isa eh. Ano yung aside
Yeah,
from
weakness.
Weakness. Weakness. I-share ko na din, kasi hindi ako parang studious napapakinggan ko kanina dun sa sharing din ni Miss Nicole Javier and yung about sa cramming. Ayan.
So, team cramming ka din ba? Team cramming ka? Sama ka sa amin ni Candice, team cramming.
Yan. Itaguyod ang cramming group. Nakakahiya man aminin, pero medyo hindi kasi ako yung brainy type. So, pag may mga exam, which is meron talagang exam during the training, I can give a specific example. Yung weakness ko talaga, dapat minsan yung mali mo, isa or dalawa lang, 90% passing, 80% passing. Akala ko minsan pag dalawa yung mali ko, okay, pasado ko. Yung pala lahat sila 100%. So parang, hi, ng batchmate ko pala, perfect. So 20 kami, naging 19 because of the tattoo and I didn't isa. And the rest ng mga batchmate ko, so ganun sila. So tipong lagi isa lang magagaling when it comes to exam. Ako kasi, hindi ako ganun. So parang limited lang yung time para mag-aral eh. So talagang magkakram ka na magkakram. Eh yung stored knowledge, wala yatang mai-store nung time na yun. So yun yung weakness ko. Bumabagsak ako sa mga exam, sa written exam. Pero you just have to bounce back. At least pumasa, okay lang, kahit pasado.
Yeah.
Pagdating sa practical, galingan mo na lang. Pag yung totoong liparan na, yun yung sa akin.
Yeah, I agree. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, it does not, hindi porket team cramming kami, it's better. Unlike I remember si Nicolette Ambulo, no? Valedictorian, like she really has good study habits. But at the end of the day, ikaw, personally, ano ba yung nag-work sa'yo? So sabi ko, try to find out. And if you find out as early as college or as high school, then good for you, di ba? You can build on it, grow upon it, etc. Pero yun. And also, iba rin yung very good in writtens, in technical, iba rin yung practical. Medyo nakarelate ako dyan sa sinabi ni Jermaine, no? Pagliparan na doon ako babawi. Yun din actually yung mindset ko dati. Kailangan ko to kasi ito yung kaya ko, ginagalingan ko. Pero pag lumipad ako, I know I can do better. Kaya parang, di ba may grades tayo, if you remember, may technical aspect yung grades natin, tapos may practical, di ba? Ginigrade tayo sa mga OJT natin. Kasi sabi ko, sa OJT, alam ko kaya kong galingan, pero kaya magpo-focus muna ako sa written. Because, tulad ng sinasabi ni Ina Ramos, know your strengths as well. And embrace that, improve upon that. Diba? Sabi nga niya. So, alam ko, okay na ako dyan. Though, I will still try to improve on that aspect. Pero mas magpo-focus muna ako sa technicals kasi alam ko mas weakness ko yun. Ayan. Very nice answer. Thank you. Thank you, Main. Sakto tungkol sa strengths and weakness, may nakita akong pwedeng i-follow up story. So, since we're talking about difficulties, follow-up question rather. From Christopher Labio, sabi niya, Miss Jermaine, what's your rock bottom story outside your flying career? Kumbaga, what's the most difficult, rock bottom nga, tulad ng sinabi niya, outside your flying career, what have you experienced? If you could share that with us. And if it's okay, of course.
It's very personal. Pero I'm always willing to share because my life is an open book. Rock bottom would be when my parents, they got separated. So, isang anak lang kasi ako. And humuhugot ako ng lakas sa magulang ko, sa pamilya ko. And nung time na naghiwalay sila, sabi ko, para saan pa yung pagsusumikap ko? Para saan pa yung lahat ng pinaghihirapan ko, napagod ko, kung sira na pamilya namin? Kasi, nung time na yon may inaayos si Lord sa buhay namin. Kaya, kasi gumraduate na ako noon. So, nasa US na ako. Sabi ko, kaya ako nagsusumikap, kaya hindi ako sumusuko sa mga pagsubok sa buhay kasi baka kulang lang kami sa finances. Baka pag nagkapera kami, nakatulong ako sa pamilya, kumikita na ako, baka sumaya na kami. Mali pala ako. Kasi hindi yung pera yung solusyon. Kaya parang sa akin, dun lumalim yung faith ko kay Lord. Kasi ang wala kami, yung faith, yung relationship namin kay God. Kaya that back then, bottom rock talaga yun kasi parang wala na akong purpose. Parang wala na akong dahilan para gumising at sumikap sa umaga. Pero when God fixed everything, I was amazed because there's no broken wound that God cannot heal. There's no broken family that God cannot restore. And God restored my family. Right now, at this very moment, actually, may date kami ng family ko kasi nga January is birthday month ko and nung kuya ko na malito ko kayo. Miss Jeremy, wala kang kapatid, may kuya ka. May uncle ako. So, yan, yung bunsong pati papa. And we're gonna be celebrating tonight. And for me, since you brought up that question, yun yung bottom rock ng buhay ko. Siguro one way or another, one of you guys can relate na minsan, mawawala ka ng inspirasyon, pero just go back to God. Kasi you will never know that God is all you need until God is all you've got. And I came to that point. And God restored everything.
Yeah.
Nagsiksiklig nag-uumapaw.
Yes, yes. And as cliche as it may sound, I believe in this, that He will not give you challenges na hindi mo kaya overcome. And sometimes it's His way of telling you na you should believe in yourself as well. You should also work hard on it. And minsan, di ba, ginigiba niya yung mga bagay. Pero after 3 days, mabubuhay siya ulit. Kasi gusto niya bigyan kayo ng mas magandang pundasyon. Ay, ito yung binibuild mo, tapos na-realize ko, ay parang hindi yata. So minsan gigibain niya talaga. Kaya talagang masisira lahat. Tulad nga ng sinabi ni Jermaine, nasira yung pangarap niya kasi yung inspirasyon niya, the reason why she is working, she is moving forward, nabasag. Pero guess what? He built it better, stronger, closer. Pero it's not just about that. It's also, it gave Jermaine a reason also to continue to move forward. And she is in a better place because she believed in God and she worked on herself and she continued pushing forward. So lahat yan magkahalo-halo. Basta maniwala lang. Pero mahirap, pero kaya. From Gianna, how do you see yourself 10 years from now? So pag 29 years old ka na, alam ko 19 ka ngayon, so 10 years from now, pag 29 ka na, kasing edad mo si Mont Ortiz, di ba? Kasi yan, nag-comment siya, I feel you about sa age. So pag 29 na kayo, ano na ang plano niyo sa buhay?
Maubos oras ko katatawa. Sobrang laughter ni Sir. Okay, aminin ko yung age ko. Sabi ko naman, open book yung aking buhay. 32 years old na po ako ngayon. At 10 years from now, that will be like 42nd birthday ko na. Same time, same channel. And how do I see myself? Definitely, I have my own
Yung sinasabi ni Mod na nakaka-relate na siya. Yung 10 years from now na age, yung I feel you. Oh. So, sorry. So, go back. Your family.
Ayan, ang hirap magbigil ng tawa, no? Pag 42 years old na ako, yan, power hormone, di ba? Nakakatuwa naman ang question na yan dahil ako din, syempre, tinatanong ko yung sarili ko. And just like what I have said a while ago, I see myself having my own family. Of course, my kids to raise, syempre with the husband. And I will continue to spread God's goodness in my life. That's how I see myself.
Basta yun ang constant, no? Parang I think, pag nandito ka na sa age natin, like tulad ni, sabi ni Shane, that's the, kumbaga, far or near, those are the goals. Pero always, hindi mawawala is to share God's goodness, to spread positivity, to try to help. Yan ang constant talaga, you know?
Yes.
Kasi same. I think the first 3 speakers, if you have been here since the first speaker, more or less we are on the same wavelength for today. Again, magkakaibang airlines, magkakaibang experience, but pag naging cabin crew ka, parang may invisible thread na parang pare-pareho lang more or less na sinasabi nitong mga to. No? Teka lang. Ayan, may comment si Barbie. Ay, sorry, si Nicole. Grabe, Miss Jermaine, ka-age ko lang naman kayo nila, Sir Amor. Bakit? 34 ka na din? Kasi 34 na ako. 23 ka eh.
Age niya, 23, 32.
Sorry, 1 decade. Candice Gold, Team Cramming. Yes, Team Cramming. Mondor Trees, okay yan, 42. Yan, di ba? Oh. So since there are no questions in the chat box, nag-enjoy kayo, tawa-tawa lang kayo dyan, na kayo nanonood. Ako ulit magtatanong.
Comedy bar.
So pakisend na lang po dito sa GCash yung mga tips. Okay, so I think this is a given, no, Jermaine, when you talk about, I think you have talked about this. I have seen this on your vlogs, and it's very obvious from how you are speaking right now. But who inspires you?
My
It's how you
family.
mentioned it, yeah.
Yan. Yung family talaga, yan ang aking inspirasyon at pinaghuhugutan. And katulad nga ng sabi ko before, kung ano man ang mangyari, yun kasi yung greatest fear ko eh, yung may mangyari sa magulang ko, o sa pamilya ko, yung mawala na sila sa mundong ibabaw, umuwi sila kay Lord. But I just hold on to God's promises. At the end of the day, I know I have God. He's more than enough for me.
Ayan, so from Gianna, natawa ako sa, bakit nakakatawa? Totoo naman yung Gianna.
May personal, oh.
Nakakatawa, totoo yun. Minsan lang ako umamin, no? Umamin ako, like ko sinasabi, 54 na ako, pero ngayon umamin ako. From Harlem, hello, Ma'am Hello, Ma'am Jermaine, what type of passengers do you like to serve? Harlem, was it lahi? Or siguro, maybe you can answer it in two ways. Is there a specific nationality that you like serving and a specific trait, siguro? Character ng isang tao, isang passenger that you like serving?
I'm a bit biased kasi I like serving with kids. Kasi they're so innocent, appreciative, and I just really love kids. Ako yun eh. And pag sinuservan ko sila, I don't know, I don't have enough time to play with them, pero I just make sure na they will feel welcome, and even if they're flying, they will feel na, wow, may personal touch, parang nasa bahay ako, nag-enjoy ako, and alam mo naman mga kids nowadays, diba? They like playing, and yun. I just have to, siguro tip ko na rin sa mga future flight attendants natin. So if you have kids and you can maximize, kasi may games naman yung IFE, in-flight entertainment. So may TV, may options. So may mga games doon, pwede mong papiliin, may mga kids movies doon. So at least you would be able to add yung special touch ng pang bata. Iba-iba nga, katulad sa aming Sir Amor, bawat pasahero. Pero pagka kids, parang na hindi ko nararamdaman yung pagod. Okay, kahit balik-balikan ko siya at kamustahin ko siya kung meron lang din naman talagang extra time.
Yeah. Nationality, meron bang naisip other than or not really?
Not really. Parang wala. Enjoy ko mga iba't ibang nationalities ng mga bata, sir.
Yeah, iba-iba yun, no? Iba-iba ang let's say, something similar but something different, pero ang talaga kids, so for Jermaine, kids. Do you see the chat box?
Ay, salamat, umamin na. yun nabasa ko kay Sir Monde. Hello, Major Time Passengers. Ano ang nagpakilig sa'yo aside from being inspired by your fam? Ay, mga kilig moments ba yan? Sir Christopher Labio Pagay. Shinout out na kita. So, ang nagpapakilig sa akin is, wow, nahirapan ako. Medyo nahirapan ako dyan. There was this one particular customer. Ayan. So, parang nakakatuwa dahil hindi ko naman, kala ko kasi auditor siya. Kasi pag ang auditor, guys, just to give an idea, ito yung mga, okay, the best way to explain is spy ng CEO. Hindi namin kilala, hindi sila checker. Kasi ang checker yan yung nag-check sa supervisor at sa standard, sa working standard ng mga crew on that particular flight. For auditor, hindi namin sila kilala, pero posibleng nandun sila. They're watching
mystery shopper, parang mystery shopper sa mga ibang business. Something ganyan, no? Hindi mo kilala, but they're checking you.
Yes. And they will be reporting to the CEO with regards to the standard if you are up to standard sa trabaho mo. So, all throughout the flight, akala ko nanonood siya kasi he's checking yung sa magiging performance ko at the rest of the crew. Pero it turned out na hindi naman pala. So, medyo gusto niya lang palang maging makipagkaibigan. Ayan. Kinilig ako doon kasi parang, may itsura siya. And after that flight, kasi hindi kami pwede mabigay na number or whatsoever, kasi you have to stay professional, diba? Hiwalay ang trabaho, iba ang personal life. Pero the mere fact na na-appreciate niya yung effort mo, yung work mo, and nagbigay siya ng feedback na he made sure na malalaman ng supervisor mo yung naging, that would be another way of recognition sa company namin. We have what we call KAFU, and that would be another way of recognition. And yun yung magiging pagbabasihan nila if they will promote you or if they will give you enough perks as a flight attendant. So yun, medyo nagbigay siya ng recognition sa akin nung time na yun. And natuwa ako at the same time. So may kilig and may tuwa. Kaya yun lang naman. Nahirapan ako, sorry Nahirapan ako dun sa question mo eh.
Question ni Christopher. Nako, Christopher.
Okay,
So, I think it's a nice example of yung mga little things, even as hindi lang tayo as a customer service provider, but as a customer per se, or as a person per se, to say little things, nice things to other people, hindi mo alam kung anong kagandahan ng may dudulot yung maliit na bagay, pero minsan that is something that we need din. That's one of the best things also that being a flight attendant or being in a customer service industry is yung to hear feedback. Kahit yung mga maliliit na bagay na, oy, thanks parang natulungan mo kami. I'm sure those who are working in the industry can relate to this. Kahit sobrang random lang na tao na tawagin ka lang by your name kung may nameplate ka. Oy, Christine, salamat sa help mo kanina. Oy, Ed, good service. Maliliit na bagay. Pero sa atin, it's a very big deal kasi it just confirms the effort that we are doing. Lalo na tayo, alam mo, minsan you try your best. And tulad ng sinabi natin, may mga difficult days, pero you still try. Ayan, maliit na salita, but it makes it all worth it. Nakita ko ang dami sa inyo tumatango. Because I'm sure it is something true. No? So if you can do that, it's also a way of paying it forward to others. So let's just continue to build on that mindset. From NJ De Los Reyes, ano yung pinakamagandang natutunan mo ngayong pandemic?
Wow, talagang malulupit ng mga questions ng ating mga participants. Ayan, ang pinakamagandang natutunan ko ngayong pandemic is just to maximize whatever you have. Maganda yung sabi ni Sir Amor, kahit maliliit na bagay lang, like even for your family. Ngayon, I have a lot of time together with my family. And hindi mo alam kasi kung mabilis lang ang buhay, maikli lang ang buhay. It's our choice kung iisip na lang tayo ng puro complain or we're just gonna focus on the negative side. Pero yung lang alam mo na buhay ka, okay ka, you're in good health, na kasama mo, family mo, or hindi kayo nagugutom, nakakakain pa rin kayo kahit paano sa araw-araw, yung mas ma-appreciate mo yung gift of life and whatever you have. Sa akin, yun yung best lesson ko ngayong pandemic.
And I think most of us, yeah, na-remind dyan. A lot of us are na-remind dyan. Speaking of pandemic, ako may segue na question. Ano ang ginawa mo ngayong pandemic na kung hindi nagka-pandemic, sa tingin mo hindi mo mabibigyan ng attention kung walang pandemic? Kumbaga, if everything went regular, you were still flying, same old. What changed because of the pandemic? What have you started because of the pandemic?
Yan, sir. Yung YouTube vlog, yung pag-vlogging, I was able to give more time, and I have to be honest, I have more time than, especially last year, to really interact with aspirants, to all of you guys out there. And yun yung gift of time na sinasabi ko, na instead of focusing sa sarili mo, why don't you focus to inspire other people? Why don't you give what you can, like knowledge or experience or your own story, so that you would be able to add spark to other people's lives? And maybe the little fire that they have in their hearts, maybe we can reignite that kasi may time naman.
Yan. Tama. Totoo. I agree. Di rin ako maglalagay ng vlog kung walang pandemic. And sabi nga ni Shane, it's one of the hardest things to think of content. Sabi ko, hindi ko nga nasabi sa kanya I already admire those people who are YouTubers that they always think of content. Like si Mon sa page niya. Tapos lalo na nung ikaw na yung gumagawa, ang hirap. Minsan nag-usap tayo, di ba? Ang hirap mag-edit. Ganito pala yun. Ang hirap. Naubos. Mga 3 araw ako, nag-edit ka ng 5 minutes. Ha? Ganun yun.
Ang hirap gumawa ng makeup tutorial.
Oo, di ba? Hirap mag-makeup tutorial. Montortis, pinaka-latest mo.
Grabe. Di ako paniwala na gawa. At yung mga questions ko tungkol sa makeup, sabi ako pero ito makeup, sabi ko, grabe.
All for the service. All for the service.
All for the service. All for the service. For aspirants.
Ito maganda, another ma-issue na question.
Ay, meron.
Pero na-experience natin to or we feel like this every now and then or something similar. From Ian Christopher Tagalogon. Ate Jermaine, have you ever felt na hindi ka na happy sa work mo?
May hugot si Christopher.
Hindi ka ba masaya?
Alam ko, pinagmumulan ng tanong niya na yan. Yes, I have to be honest. Many times actually. And I was on the verge of really suffering from depression kasi I'm far away from home. I'm living alone. Parang, how ironic. You always see a lot of people in front of you. You serve them, different nationalities, full pack, yung mga flight. Pero at the end of the day, parang you feel so alone. Pero kasi ako, dumating yung point na parang pagod na ako sa ginagawa ko. But you just have to go back to your purpose. Just like what I have mentioned a while ago, you just have to go back to your purpose, why you're there on the first place, ba't ka nagsusumikap, at ba't ka dinala doon ni Lord. And pray, talagang pray, that God will refresh you and give you a new set of perspective para mapalitan yung loneliness ng joy. Parang, thank you Lord kasi may work ako. Thank you Lord kasi marami iba nawawala na ng trabaho ngayon, nawawala na ng mga source of income. Pero Lord, thank you kahit pagod na ako, meron pa rin akong trabaho. Ayan.
Yeah. And since Jermaine talk about pagod, I always say when you're tired, rest. Don't quit. Rest. Rest lang. Tulad din ng sinabi ni Kat Alano, Days with Kat. She mentioned this since you talked about purpose. Like what Jermaine, sometimes close your eyes, remember that purpose, and when things go south, when there are days that are challenging, kung ayaw mo na, close your eyes again and remember that purpose. So maalala mo, it's like being in prayer, di ba? Close your eyes when you pray, and hopefully by the intercession of God's grace, darating sa inyo yan. So same, more or less, same, no? So nice. Another phone-in question for you, Jermaine. What aspect of your life changed since you became a flight attendant? Kung baga, alam mo talaga yung, eto na, naging ganito ako dahil flight attendant ako. Anong parte ng buhay mo? Siguro, let's remove the financial aspect, monetary aspect, but you as a person, what changed you?
Yes, sir. Wow, very juicy question. Yung perspective ko, I became less judgmental and I became more appreciative when it comes to life. Okay, one good example is that once you become a flight attendant, you will see that there are different kinds of people from different kinds of background, from different culture. And ako, kasi, sa dami ng pinagdaanan kong pagsubok sa buhay, dun ko na-realize na iba-iba pala yung pinaghuhugutan ng mga bawat tao. For example, meron kaming pasahero na sobrang parang kung hindi malawak ang pangunawa mo, iisipin mo na snob siya at very disrespectful siya. Pero, kung mas aalamin mo, kung mas lalawakan mo yung pangunawa mo, if you're not gonna judge that person, you will soon realize na meron palang mas malalim na dahilan. Kasi it should be their honeymoon. We found out that ito palang pasahero namin, meron silang honeymoon sa ibang bansa na all of a sudden, inatake yung newlywed sila, husband niya, and ngayon yung husband niya, nasa cargo, patay na. So imagine what that person is going through. Na ikaw, tingin mo, snub lang to, another kind of passenger, pero yung palang lalim ng pinagdadaanan ng taong yun. Kaya, another example po, kung okay lang, ako naman, nagsaserve ako na, what would you like to have? Would you like to have some coffee or tea? No, just bring me some water. And then, medyo na-delayed ako sa pagdala ng tubig. And nung pagbalik ko, sabi niya, kanina ko pa hiningi ang tubig na yan. Ang tagal-tagal. Nag-apologize ako. Siyempre, tinanong ko, iinom po ba kayo ng gamot? Kasi sorry po. And all. So parang nagalit siya na dahil na-delayed yung sa tubig. Ako naman, siyempre, inintindi ko yun. Baka kasi inom siya ng gamot or whatsoever. Hindi, uhaw lang siya. So, okay. But without knowing, yung pasahero, hindi niya alam na nandun ako sa flight na yun. Umuwi ako sa Pinas. First ever na uwi ko sa Pinas. Gusto ko makita ng pamilya ko na naka-uniform ako. At yung lolo ko na tinulungan akong pag-aralin ako. Inatake siya sa puso 2 hours before mag-landing yung plane namin. Walang sumalubong sa akin pamilya. First ever uwi ko sa Pinas yun na naka-uniform ako. Walang sumalubong sa akin. Yung pala nasa emergency hospital silang lahat. The next day, I have to operate the flight going back to Qatar na nag-aagaw buhay yung lolo ko. And tinanong ko sila, pwede bang hindi na ako mag-operate ng flight? The company said, you have to fly back to Qatar because minimum crew tayo and full flight. We cannot afford not to have another crew. Hindi ko maintindihan bago pa lang ako noon. It was actually my first month or second month of flying. Nag-operate ako ng flight, ngumingiti ako, but deep inside, yung tao nagpaaral sa akin na itinuring kong pangalawang ama ko, hindi ko alam kung buhay pa o patay na. And I have to smile. Naggalit siya dahil hindi ko naabot yung water. Pero itong tao na to, inisip niya ba kung ano yung pinagdadaanan ko para lang iserve ko yung mga gusto ng mga customers. So, syempre, 2 sides of stories, diba? May pinagdadaanan yung pasahero, may pinagdadaanan yung crew. Doon mas lumawak yung perspective ko sa buhay. Pag landing na aeroplano, umuwi akong Pinas, habang bumabiyahe ako, I got the news. My grandfather passed away. Hindi ako napagpaalam na maayos, hindi niya ako nakita na yung naka-uniform. Pero ano natutunan ko? You have to be strong. Kasi not all people will understand what you're going through and hindi sila mag-a-adjust para sa'yo. But you have to be matured. Kasi ikaw yan, buhay mo yan, and hindi mo pwedeng ipaliwanag sa lahat ng tao what's inside of you. But at the end of the day, you have to smile, be professional, and you have to be strong. And always allow God to be with you because He will give you the strength that you need.
Yeah. Parang ang mga artista, di ba, lagi sinasabi, sa likod ng mga ngiti, ng mga patawa, hindi mo alam yung story behind them. Yeah. And I think, if you would allow me to comment, I think that's, I guess, in my opinion, that's what I felt na, siguro that's the last lesson. Sabi mo nga, yung grandfather mo nagpaaral sa'yo, nagpalaki sa'yo. I think that's the last lesson that he would like for you to learn as an adult, na these things happen, na from our family members, from the people that we love, there are things na being part of the industry, there are things that are out of our control, but we have to be, talagang, you have to adult. You have to do it. And siguro, like what I said, I think this is the last lesson na tinuro niya na kung ito nakayanan mo, I'm sure anything that will happen in the future, you can push through, move forward with the belief that you will, and your other family will always love you and be there for you again together with God's grace, you know? I think that's and I'm sure he's watching every time you fly. Yun nga lang, kasama kayo doon. Parang si Rosette talking about her mom. You know, it happens, but again, God has a bigger purpose. It just depends on how we look at it. Let's go to the next question. Itatanggalin ko na. Medyo, wala. Nakita ko yung mga mo. wala akong tisyong iabot. So, pasensya. But, yeah. It's sad, but it happens. And
Prepared.
prepared ka. Best lesson, I think. Best lesson. Christopher Labio Pagay, what is your life's anthem? Can you sing it for us? Ayan.
Tayo dyan.
Yan. Talaga, basag moment.
Tapos nabasa ko pa yung kay Sir Monde, no? Overtime na. Buzzer beater, say by the bell.
Sige, extend natin. Bawasan natin yung oras ko.
So, what is your life's anthem? Can you sing it for us? Sinabi kanina yun ni Sir Amor. God will make a way, actually. So, if you guys are familiar, that's the first thing that comes into my mind. God will make a way when there seems to be no way.
Hindi, sabi ni Christopher, kantahin mo daw.
Imagine niyo na lang kinanta ko siya. Si Jem, tinatawanan ako. Si Jemimo. Yan, God will make a way when there seems to be no way. And nakalimutan ko yung lyrics eh. Yun na yun.
Comment from Mondo Ortiz, I just love her wisdom and how she shares her life lessons. Really enlightening. Mamaya kwentuhan pa tayo after the conference. I am just amazed. Basta magyayaya ka ng kainan tapos ikaw manlilibre tulad ng ginawa mo kay Shane para hindi kami mainggit. May bias ka eh. May bias ka kay Shane Buhat eh. Alright, so I think this will be the last question. Jermaine, you mentioned it's your birthday month, so everybody greet Jermaine a happy birthday, just like Mike Kinzon, Jermaine, happy birthday. What is your birthday wish? That will be the last question.
Yes, I have actually two major birthday wish. One is for myself, but the other one is for all the people, for all the participants right now. Well, unahin natin yung sa inyo. Birthday wish ko is for you to be the kind of person God designed you to be. Kasi minsan yung pangarap natin, eto eh. Pero si God, He has a better plan. And yun yung best. Kaya, be the kind of person God designed you to be. Wala tayong talo dyan. And for my second personal birthday wish, diba? Siyempre, yung God's best ko na rin sana. Kasi 32 years old na. Ayan. So, 32 years old na rin ako. Medyo, ayan. Sana pag-pray nyo na rin, diba? Dumating na ba siya?
Sama natin yan kung yung isa nga dyan eh.
Okay po. Salamat po.
Di na-comment.
So, mamumula na siya eh.
Jermaine, can you go ahead and promote social media, businesses if any? The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here in Galley Talks Virtual Conference 2021. Please don't forget to subscribe in my YouTube channel, Walang Kahirap-Hirap, Jermaine De Guia. And of course, you can also follow me on my Facebook and on my Instagram, Wala Ring Kahirap-Hirap, Jermaine De Guia rin po. Yes, yun lang. Maraming salamat.
Okay, and with that, thank you again, Jermaine. And of course, it's picture time, so if you can kindly turn on your cameras. For page 1. David James, saan ka ba papunta? 3 oras na nagda-drive ka pa rin? Out of town yata to eh. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Out of town, pauwi pa lang.
Oh, yun na nga. Oh, smile na, smile. Basta ingat sa pag-drive, ha? Alright, page 2. Okay, for page 2, you're taking a picture with Candice Gold. 1, 2, 3. Grabe, Candice, mansion talaga yung bahay nyo. Bago na naman yung background mo, ha? Hindi nang nagpapalit ka na ng book, yung mga bookshelves, ha? Ayun, sa may, na tayo, Lanay, receiving area. So, with that being said, thank you very much again, Jermaine, and let's have a 2-minute break to prepare for our next speaker.
Oo, ka nang dyan.
Thank you, Candice. Nagbigay ba ako ng requirement na 20 minutes? Di naman, no.
Hindi, no. But for me, I gave myself, okay, I need to talk slow. Kailangan at least 20 minutes yung sasabihin ko. And then, wala. Okay, anyway.
Sobra pa. It's 22. So, thank you for another light but filling talk hearing from you. If you have questions, everybody, please go ahead and ask them.
Yes, please.
other than my usual phone-in questions, I also write down notes from those things that I have heard and those things that struck me from the speakers. And I wrote down, like you mentioned, find out your why, no? Like what you said, no? Parang parang ang ganda ng pagkaka, not to tap my own shoulder, but ang ganda ng pagkaka-line up day per day, but everything, you may see the topics as something different, but they just are all relatable to one speaker to another. So when you talked about find out your why, and you said when you applied for Emirates, your why was to serve. So my question is, naguhugas ka din ba ng pinggan?
Yes. Follow mo, ah. Yes.
Mayan, alam ko nakikinig ka. You like Candice. For those who are listening, I'm just teasing my sister. I'm just pulling her legs and arms. But naguhugas naman. but serious question though. If there was a flight attendant lesson, I mean, you mentioned a lot. You actually mentioned a lot. There are a lot of points to pick up. But what's one thing that you want to teach your kids? If you want to let them know, I learned this from being a flight attendant. This is something that you must learn as well. What would that be? If you can name two, then go ahead. But at least one, please.
Okay. All right. Ang labo. All right. The first thing is always say please and thank you. Char. I know these are very petty things, but if you guys become a flight attendant, these become the most important things during your day. Always mention a person's name. So when she has a friend, like Kalia, there was a phase in her life that she would say, hey, hey. And I would be like, okay, don't say hey. Make sure you know her name. Ask her name and say her name every single time. Another thing, grabe, your heart will explode if a customer say, oh, thank you so much, Candice. Thank you so much, Jermaine. Oh, I love your service, Jefferson. All right. So you will be like, okay, here's my arm. You can have everything on this aircraft. So, diva. And last but not the least, be patient. Learn how to be patient. Just put yourself in another human's shoes, because a lot of us as humans, we are very judgmental. We see the world through our eyes, but we have a hard time seeing the world through another person's eyes, because we think that our life is either worse than theirs or better than theirs. So if they say, like, for example, a friend would say, oh my God, like a 98 over 100 ako sa exam. Salamat ko nga, pumasa ka, ano ka ba? Ako nga, ano pa sang awa. But always put your eyes in another human's shoes, just so that you understand where they're coming from. Just like what Jermaine was saying earlier, with her experiences with the passenger and everything, you never know what a person is going through. Okay. You never know. Just be the best version of you every single time.
Yep. And again, she mentioned the little things, pero to some people, those are the big things. Those are, I call them magic words. Please,
Yes.
thank you, sorry, excuse me. I'm sure, like most of us, no matter how busy we are in the airplane, and you'll be like, hi, excuse me, if you have time, can you do this for me? Yeah, sure. Kahit marami kami ibang gagawin, baka minsan baka unahin pa namin kayo just to ask for that small glass of water or something, because it really sabi nga niya, ako rin hindi ko ma-explain. Maliliit na bagay, pero it affects us in a big way because it's very rare. Though it is expected of us to be of exceptional service, but again, to acknowledge that just by a small word or a short phrase, it means a lot. Let's look at the chat box. So from Mean, excuse me, from Mean, haha, from Mean, hoy, from Mean, I do wash my dishes, haha, heart. Dishes mo lang, idamay mo kami, magkasama tayo sa isang bahay, di ba? No. From David James, have you encountered the scenario with a passenger who? Yun yung question. Yun yung question niya kasi naputol yung a passenger who. So David James, ituloy mo yung question.
Sir, ako na lang.
Ay, tanong mo na lang yung driving. Yes, go ahead with your phone question.
misunderstanding. Misunderstanding with
Misunderstanding.
the passenger. For example, the difference between Australian English pati American English, there are some terms na magkaiba po siya.
Ayan, o, ayan. So, siguro ito yung ano niya,
Parang
misheard dong,
misunderstanding po.
oo. Again, because of English, American, Filipino English, Japanese. Basta, yeah, I think you understand the question naman, Candice.
Not really.
Okay, ako din eh. Kaya
Can you?
pinasa ko siya. Kaya pinasa ko siya.
Sorry, have you ever encountered misunderstanding with the passenger? With the difference between the English language and the Australian language. Like, for example, that they call potato chips. And Australian, I guess it's
Crisp.
potato crisp.
Crisp, yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that. Parang ganun lang.
Yeah.
Understanding with terms.
Actually, wait lang. Nagets ko naman. I'm just testing you, Candice. Pero, yun.
Kaloka ka.
Same face. Actually, nagets ko naman. Nagets ko talaga. Promise.
To answer your question, yes. A lot of times I have to step back and just, think twice of what they really want. But yeah. Ang labo ng sagot. But yeah. Just like, diba?
Wala naman
I know.
sinabi si Baby James na why or kindly elaborate. So, yes.
Hindi. Nag-iisip ako ng example eh. I'm trying to think of an example, but nothing comes to mind. But I did have a friend. I'm gonna put her in the situation because it was so funny. I thought it was very. I know. Was it? I don't know if it was one of this. No. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, someone told me that she had a flight, and then one of the customers was Australian. And he said, hi, can I have some coffee, mate? Coffee, mate. Can I have some coffee, mate? And then, Australians, they like to say the word mates as a friend and stuff. So this flight attendant, she's gasping around the cabin. She's like, saan ba ako kukuha ng coffee mate? Wala namang coffee mate dito. Kaya siya. Saan ang coffee mate? Wait lang, check ako sa business class ng coffee mate. And yan. Pagdating niya ng business class, sobrang nagtagal, the customer stood up and went to the back galley, and he's like, hey, I don't know where your crew is, but I just asked for coffee. and all the crew started laughing, and then she arrives with the coffee mate, and then he starts laughing as well because he gets what's going on. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I thought you were asking for coffee mate. So yeah, Kala creamer yung hinihingi, yung pala mate lang pala yung sinabi.
I think it's just the same as what, if you remember Rosette de la Peña. Rosette, she was here earlier. I'm not sure if she is still here. So if you're still here, hi. It's part of working with other cultures, other countries. So I think it's the same thing as passengers. And she said communication skills, and that's a part of it. Accents, different meanings of words. So that's a challenge. From Jefferson Garcia, I always ask this to my favorite FA speakers, but I never get a chance to ask this to you, even if you already motivated me before. Ayan. Miss Candice, what is your life verse? By the way, thank you po sa motivations mo palagi.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I have a confession to make. I am not good with memorization. So I know I do not memorize, but I do write them down. But it's gonna take me a whole year to find it. But I can't. It's kind of. What did it say? Put on the spot. Give me a second, Jefferson. Yeah, sure. I'll get right back to you. You can ask a different.
Diba? Binibigla mo kami, pero alam namin yung sagot kasi nasa puso at isip namin, pero we just don't want to say it na mali or misquote it, no?
Yes.
May utang tayo. So before the time, or basta may utang sa'yo si Candice.
Basta, babalikan kita, ha? Wait, I'll look for it while answering other questions.
Yeah, so babalikan ka niya, hindi tulad nung ex mo na hindi na bumalik. What?
What the?
From Leopoldo Flores II, hi Ma'am Candice, how to improve the accent? Any tips or advice po? I'm just amazed on how you enunciate words.
Oh my goodness gracious. Sorry to say, but this is just inborn. So, just for those that don't know, I'm half Australian, half Filipino. I was born and raised in Australia, thus the accent stuck to me. My dad is Australian. Marunong lang ako mag-Tagalog dahil lumipat kami sa Pinas. It's kind of the other way around. You know how Filipinos go abroad? We went to the Philippines, so that's how it happened. You can listen to a lot of audiobooks with the British accent if you want, because that's what happened to my cousin here in the Philippines. She just loved audiobooks, and then she started copying the accents when she speaks. So I guess that's how it is. If
Yeah,
you
I
hear it
think
a lot of times.
it's also similar. Sorry to cut you, Candice. So it's
So,
similar to other Filipinos who work in other countries. Let's say I have a friend who worked in London, and when I used to visit her, and she takes on a different accent altogether because, like what Candice said, you hear from it, you embody it. Then, especially when you try to practice it, you'll never know that you'll pick it up. So, like some of us have an American accent by watching a lot of TV shows. Some of us have Korean accents. Oh, di ba can speak in Korean very well because we watch that. So maybe that's a good advice. Like listen to audiobooks or watch shows until you pick up and practice it. Of course, then you'll never know. From Christopher Ayano, oh, magaganda yun. Since hindi kinanta kanina, si Christopher Candice, what's your life anthem? Can you sing it for us?
the
Uunahan ko lang
question.
before you answer that, you can only repeat questions up to 2 times. Disclaimer, kasi ako na next para hindi na matanong sa akin. Okay? So, talaga wala akong balak sagutin. So, alam ba, new rule, 2 questions only. 2 questions only, 2 times per day.
Goodness. The question is, do you want to hear me sing?
Of course, this is what we
The
paid for.
question is, are your ears ready? Okay, there's I don't know if you guys know Elevation Church or Elevation Worship, but that's what I follow. So I always listen to Elevation Church and Elevation Worship. And there's this one song, it's called Surrounded. So please do excuse me. I'm sorry, Lord, if I'm gonna murder your soul. But it starts off saying, this is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. Hands lifted high. So yeah, so that's my life mantra. Whenever I go into the deep end, I just lift my hands high, and that's how I fight my battles. So there we go. Goodness gracious, please do not put that out there.
Recorded and expected to be on social
On
media
repeat.
within the next 24 hours.
Oh my god.
On repeat. And we're going to make an EDM track out of it.
Repeat.
I'm a go. All right, from Mitzi, Ann Curtis Smith. Actually, barkada niya si Candice, si Ann Curtis.
Yes. Charot feeling.
Okay. Before we go back to the chat box, let's go on to the questions. While you're looking for your verse, I will ask you something light. Ayan, para madali-dali na konti. When
Go.
you were in Emirates, when you were outside the Philippines for 10 years, what was the one thing that you missed most? Like, talagang nami-miss mo.
About the Philippines?
Yep, about the Philippines.
Oh, number one, food. Food talaga, food. I mean, like, there's a lot of Filipino restaurants and there's a lot of stuff around Dubai, pero it's always different how, for example, Christmas, New Year, how we celebrate it around food. So yun talaga yung na-miss ko. Yung gatherings with friends, family, how chaotic it gets and how fun it gets, and just the food. Food talaga.
O kahit maraming restaurants there or something, pagdating sa Pinas, iba yung lasa, no? Iba kasi yung dumi dito no? Iba yung dumi, kaya mas masarap. Parang that's what we say when we go, let's say, to the Middle East and eat the shawarma there, then when we, or any Middle Eastern food, then when we go to the Philippines and somebody would say, oh, try this, it's an authentic Middle Eastern restaurant. Sabihin ko, hindi it's the same, pero iba yung dun Iba yung dumi. Or hindi nila gusto ko iba yung dumi. So parang Filipino food, iba yung dumi dito, mas masarap. Pag kinakamay habang minamarinate yung adobo. Another one. What if you can remember? This is a two-part question. If you can remember, what did you buy with your first salary in Cebu Pacific and your first salary in Emirates? Tingnan natin kung nag-mature.
Really?
Nag-mature yung purchase.
Number one, I'm gonna throw a question back at you. Really?
Moderator.
You're gonna ask me something that happened 10 years ago?
Yeah, why not? I remember mine.
You know, we do? Okay,
Yeah,
then
I
that
do.
means how immature I really was.
I remember mine.
I really
Okay,
don't remember,
to
to
give
be
you to
honest.
give you time to think, my first salary I gave it to my parents, and
Oh,
and my first purchase I bought a PlayStation 2 Mini.
awesome.
Basta yung maliit. I don't know the term, basta maliit. There's a big one and a small one. Slim, yan, slim. Because my plan was, of course, I want to play games. I have my own money. And then when I go on a layover, I will bring it and attach it to the TV in Cebu and, and use it. But I do not, though I brought it, I never used it because, of course, I'm in Cebu or in any layover. Sino maglalaro ng games doon? Siyempre, go out, experience, eat. Yan. Wala lang. Pero that's my first like purchase. No, like PlayStation 2 talaga, not PSP Jefferson. Like the legit na PlayStation na slim, yung maliit. Talagang when you put the
Wow.
disc, yung ganyan, yan. So, ayan. I hope I gave you time. If you can remember.
Um,
Candice, pero di talaga.
with Cebu Pacific, I remember. To be honest, I cannot remember what I bought. It would have probably been food. But but um, but the biggest thing that I did during that first 2 months, 3 months with being with Cebu Pacific was when I came home, because my family's in Dumaguete City, by the way. So we live in Dumaguete. Cebu Pacific is obviously in Manila. It's either you're Manila based or Cebu based. So when I was in Manila based, it was kind of hard for me to go home. So when it was the time that I could actually fly home, I there was a bit. I don't know. It was probably my cousin's birthday or something. Cousin's birthday, very random. And then I took care of the whole party.
Wow.
So that's what I did. So, di ba? Pagkain pa rin.
Did you know that my last name is not Maximo, it's Kekep? So cousin, my birthday's coming up next
Yeah,
month.
well,
Pinsan!
I'm not. This is my husband's last name, by the way. So just to let you know.
Still, by I'm related to your
Okay.
kids. By law.
Sa Emirates naman, my first thing that I bought when I was with Emirates was a phone. And yes, it was an iPhone. So I got into that temptation of buying the latest iPhone. So that's what I bought, but I can't remember what it was. I think it was an iPhone 7 or something. But yeah, around that time. So
That's
it was
also
an
a
iPhone. So yeah.
common story, I think. A nice phone. That's what one of
Mm.
the common things that flight attendants buy because for
Finally, you
travel
have the
purposes,
money.
and you have the
Yeah, and
money
then
to buy
finally you
it.
have the.
Yeah.
Mm-mm,
Pero 2
very
years to
true.
pay, 0 interest. So, ako ganun eh. Yung iba, kaya
Card.
cash. Ako, 2 years to pay, 0 interest. Sayang eh. From
Ah,
Aya,
I found it.
you
Okay.
found it? Alright, go.
Okay.
First one
This.
is like super waiting.
So this was a verse that I saw. I didn't even write down what verse it was, but anyway, this is a verse that I saw during the time that I hit depression while I was with Emirates. I think I was already 8 years in Emirates, and I've lost everything. I lost my why basically because I already had kids. So I was like, okay, if they're my why, then why am I here? Like always traveling and things, you know. So I was really depressed. I didn't want to go to work. My record went off rails again and anything. So anyway, so I was reading through and I saw this verse and it said, "Follow me and I will make you fishers of men." So it really hit me because it brought me back to my first why, which was serving. So making people happy, glorifying his name, letting people know that there is a greater thing out there. So that was one. And seek the kingdom of God, and all shall follow. True. So there we go. Or flow is right there.
Ayan, thank you. Let's go to the chat box from CJ Maala. Miss Candice, may we know your favorite layover and also your favorite place together with your family in any case you've been with them during a vacation. So favorite layover and
Okay.
favorite place that you've been with your family.
Favorite layover would be oh
Philippines.
goodness
Philippines is not
gracious.
counted.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, I
Technically,
won't
that's a
say
layover.
Philippines. Yeah, I won't say Philippines. I won't say Australia. I'll choose something else. You know what? I absolutely love Singapore and Bangkok. And I'm sure you guys already know my reason.
Or the
You know, when
food.
I first started flying, yes. So when I first started flying, I went all of the tours and everything, to the museums and everything. But then obviously when you keep flying, when you keep going back to that place, it's not like you're going to visit the museums again and go on tours again. You've seen all that already. You have your pictures and everything. So you go to the cuisine of that specific place, and then you explore your taste buds. Your taste buds just explode. So yeah. So my favorite place to keep going back is Singapore and Bangkok.
Yeah. And sometimes instead of going on a tour, I'd rather eat somewhere or go somewhere and
Exactly.
have a like food, like literal food trip. Like this place, you go here to eat this, then you eat this, then you eat this, then you eat this. Yes,
Yes.
true, true. It's like sabi ni Candice, no, your your taste buds explode. Parang ano, kung nanonood kayo ng Food Wars, ng Cooking Master Boy, ng Yakitate Japan, mga anime na when they eat like they're in heaven. Ay, same feeling, same feeling, same feeling. That's true. Singapore and Bangkok. There you go. From Ian Blanco, hi Miss Candice. Working in an international airline gives you the opportunity to earn a little bit more compared to working with a local airline. Any tips on how to handle your finances wisely and not to be overspending? Saying this in a millennial perspective. And how do you handle cultural diversity, specifically with your cabin crew, your co-crew? Thank you. Two questions. So I guess the first one would be tips on how to handle your finances, and the second one, how to handle cultural diversity, especially with the people you work with.
Mm. Okay, so the first one I only learned recently. So, and that's obviously when I lost my job. So when nobody ever thought that the aviation industry would kind of, I don't want to say die, but it went down. So we never saw it coming. During January, when the chismis pa lang, chismis pa nga lang yun yung COVID. So when it started coming around, no one believed it. We were just laughing. We didn't believe anything that they were saying. Oh, it's just a scam. It's a whatever. Nothing can knock Emirates down. Yeah. So so we really thought that the airline industry is something big, something strong. So and then suddenly, what? As I said, God takes back things, or He wrecks things down just for you to look at the bigger picture. So look what's around you and stuff. So I only recently learned your number one question, and it made me realize that it is absolutely great to have more than one source of income. So if you can save, then amazing, great job. I admire you for that. But it's also great to find something else on the side, like a side hustle, a business, whatever you want to do, that you can also receive income from that. Because if anything goes, you have somewhere to land, and something is there to catch you. So that's what I learned recently. What was the other question? Sorry, see, that's how
Again,
bad my memory is.
may I emphasize we are talking about work, not people. Not
Yeah.
people. If one doesn't catch you, you'll find somebody else to catch you.
Yes.
Talking about work. The other question was, how do you handle cultural diversity, specifically with co-cabin crew or the people
Okay.
you work with in general?
Cultural diversity for me, it was kind of a thing that I grew up with. because I grew up in Australia, I was different. I came to the Philippines, I was also different. So it was kind of something that I had to learn on my own, that you have to always take a step back, because something funny in your end will not be funny on the other end. Someone can, like, there's so many cultures back there, you just have to always remind you that, okay, if you don't understand what he's saying, if he looks like Germans and Russians, nakakatakot kaya sila magsalita, diba? They sound very scary on my end. Candace, get the beef. You're like, okay, okay.
Kaya
So,
wala din silang kalaban sa
diba?
bahay.
Akala mo may anong meron sa beef.
Mafia.
Diba? So anyway, kidding aside, it's always good for you to always remind yourself that, okay, if you don't understand or you don't get what they're saying, always ask. There's nothing wrong in asking. Okay, did I get you right? Is this what you said? Is this what you meant? And that's what I learned with Emirates as well, because there are so many cultures, there's so many different backgrounds, different religions, different in Emirates there is a rule. Rule actually, and since I'm not with attendants, so that there won't be hello, am I here, am I there?
Yeah, okay,
Hello?
now you're back. So
Okay,
can you
all right.
start again from the rule?
Okay, so with Emirates there's a specific rule. It's kind of like a hidden rule. So since wala na ako sa kanila, I can spill the beans. So there's a rule within the flight attendant space. When you fly with each other, you are not allowed to speak about, number 1, history, number 2, religion, and number 3,
So hulaan
politics.
natin kung ano yung number 2.
Because be surprised.
Oh, you're back. Politics.
Sorry. Politics. Oo, sabi ko naman sa politics. Kala ko tuloy hindi ko sinabi. I said politics.
Number 3. Sabay-sabay natin hulaan ko ano. It's politics.
Okay, politics.
And politics.
And politics, because no matter how advanced we are in 2021, you will be surprised that there will be 2 cultures out there, or two countries that still hide a burden because of their history, because of their politics, because of their religion, stuff like that. So it's the top 3 that you are not allowed to talk about. So and so just bear in mind. Also, make sure that you know what you're talking about, you know how you're speaking as well, because someone might actually come up to you and say, okay, this is what I understood, I got offended, but is this what you really meant? And you have to explain what we were trying to say and stuff like that. So it's on two ends basically. So I hope I answered your question. I do have a tendency of I keep on blabbering, if I may say. So
No, I think that's a specific answer. It will always be there, diversity will be there, but just like what Candice said, just be aware of the feelings of others. She mentioned some talking points that you should not talk about, and just keep an open mind and understand. And let's go back to the phone-in questions. Oh, all right. So you worked 2 years for Cebu Pacific, 10 years for Emirates, and technically you are
yes.
considered as an OFW, right? Flight attendants who are based in other countries are OFWs. Do you have any advice or advices? You have something to say to those individuals who are considering to work as an OFW in general, whether they may be a flight attendant or they might work in the cruise ship, or let's say in the service industry or the technical industry. Like, any tips for them to have a little bit expectation or preparation coming from somebody who has experienced it for a decade? Any things that you can tell them or say to them?
Okay. We all experience something different. So it depends on your lifestyle. It depends on you as a human being, basically, on how you are going to be when you move to that specific country. My tips would be general. Just keep your feet flat on the floor, no matter how high you reach. Just remember to keep your feet flat on the floor. As I said earlier, fight your time with the Lord. I also mentioned have another source of income, because yes, when something hits you hard, it will hit you hard. And I have a lot of friends that are still flight attendants. They're still blessed to be with Emirates still. However, they are selling food, they're cooking, they're doing all of these things because that's the one thing that they realized as well, that even though they are, this isn't forever. It's not a permanent thing. There's job security doesn't exist anymore. So that's one thing as well. And when you get to that destination, for example, you got a job, I do pray that when you get to the destination, it is the job that they give you. Because sad to say, our fellow kababayans, when they do get to a destination, a totally different thing hits them in the face. So just be humble, know where you stand, focus on your why, because that's what's going to get you through life, and have a timeline. Because I do not want you to be the person that would say, okay, I'm going to this country for 5 years, and then 40 years come by and you're still in that country because you haven't reached the goal that you wanted to reach. So yeah, that's
And
it.
I think there's nothing wrong with that. Like going 40
There's
years,
nothing wrong. Yeah.
what Candice is trying to say is you will be having regrets, and that is something that we all don't want you to have. So part of having that timeline and doing it, if you don't follow your goal, it's okay. But we just don't have you to have regrets or to regret or to say, oh, you could have done this or you could have done that. But you could have done something about it if you just focused on it. That's it. No regrets. From Stephanie P, is being a Muslim an advantage for entering Emirates?
No, I would say no. It is not it's not an advantage. However, they do. If you're a local, like if you're an Emirati, they would love to have you. So that's their top priority, actually. So if an Emirati or a local woman or man from Dubai itself applies, they will hire them straight away. But if you're gonna go for religion, no, it's not an advantage at all. I mean, yeah, I mean, they don't look at the religion of a certain person, basically.
All right, there you go, Stephanie. And from Christopher Labio Pagay again, if you are not a flight attendant, what could you have been?
Oh, nice. If
That's
I
one.
wasn't a flight attendant, um, I wow, that is some question right there.
Yeah,
My
because
butt.
it's been more than a
Yeah,
decade,
it's
so a lot
been
of things
12
could,
years.
yeah, a lot of things could
Mm,
happen. That's an easy answer if you have been flying for months or a year, two
yeah.
years, because
Um,
it's short-sighted. But 12 years.
exactly. If I was still 19 years old, yes, I wish. If I would go back to my 19-year-old self, and I would say I cannot be a flight attendant, I don't know. I don't think I would be any. Well, right now, because of what happened, I have my own business and everything, but I don't think my 19-year-old self would have thought of this. So being a flight attendant is a big contribution to me. So I'm so sorry, I do not have an answer to your question
Let me
because I
let
think I
me
would fight
try
for it, right?
let me try to rephrase that
Yeah.
question. So, knowing what you know now, and you can go back in time to talk to your 19 years your old self, what advice would you give her? Let's say career-wise, knowing what you know right now.
Keep your head in the books, girl.
So, like,
Keep
wh- what
studying.
what
Yeah.
what
Um,
specific advice for the
I
future? I
would
mean,
I
other
would
than keep
tell
on studying.
yeah, I would tell my 19-year-old self that there are a lot of temptations out there, but just like what I keep on telling you guys, there are a lot of temptations out there, but you have to just remind yourself what your goal is, and you are going to reach that goal. Just focus on it. Don't be so emotional, Candace.
Would you tell her to still continue to apply for Cebu Pacific, then after 2 years go to
Yes,
Emirates?
I
See?
would. I would still go through the same process. Why? Because Cebu Pacific taught me a lot of things. It taught me, although during our time, just to let you all know, it's not the same as how it is now. During our time, seniority was at its peak. So you could not look eye to eye to a senior flight attendant. You'll be like, hello, hello po, flying with you.
So ikaw yung kinikwento ni Nicole Javier kanina? But I totally understand.
Ako siguro yung inapi. So, so yun, so you had, it taught me a lot of how to respect, how to keep your feet flat on the floor, because when I went to Emirates, a lot of crew don't have that. A lot of crew do not know the boundaries between your senior and you. That they think that, oh, I'm older than this senior, I know more than them, age-wise, basically. So because of my experience with Cebu Pacific, yeah, it allowed me to stay in between my boundaries, if that makes sense. Yeah.
That's one of the things. I agree. Times were different before compared to now with regards to that topic. I mean, my say on that is, I think, because the generation now, or the flight attendants that are coming in that are younger, they are more informed, they are
Yes.
more independent, they are more knowledgeable. So that's why I always say you guys are the smartest, because of all of these, the internet, social media, etc. It's just up to you on how you hone it and use it. And sometimes we forget, by looking into ourselves, that though we are more intelligent, a lot of us are more insecure, a lot of us are more unsure of ourselves. But you should be more confident, because again, you are the smartest generation ever. So you just have to use that in a way that it will make you grow as a person and improve as a person. That's why with information, minsan marami kang matututunan, tapos may nakakalimutan ng this part. Tayo before, wala tayong masyadong information, so dito tayo in this part, we know these things. So just find an equal balance to it. So it will help you grow into a better individual, better colleague, better cabin crew in the future. No more chat box questions. Meron lang akong last question, Candice, before we end your time slot. Let's end it on a high note. Ang question ko lang, sana maalala mo again. The question is, can you give us your best memory as a Cebu Pacific cabin crew and your best memory as an Emirates cabin crew? If you can just kahit best talaga yung, like, what comes to your mind right now? First thing that comes to your mind. Ayan. Kasi nga matagal na siya.
Pasensya na. Okay, with the local airlines, Cebu Pacific, best memory. Oh, goodness gracious. Really? There's a lot that comes to mind, actually. Best memory was when I moved to Cebu base. Yes. No, just for people that don't know, Cebu, Manila base was where all the seniors were. So everybody was scared to stay in Manila. So when you would get the letter that congratulations, you're going to be transferred to Cebu base or Davao base or Katiklan or Iloilo and stuff like that, everybody was so happy. So it was like joy to our ears. And yes, and that's when I moved to Cebu, why I say it's the best memory is because when I moved to Cebu, I was able to spread my wings, because in Manila, the stress that we all went through going through those doors, I know it's totally different nowadays, which I praise God for that. Thank God that a lot of things have changed. But the stress that we went through going through those doors, I lost a lot of weight. And then, so for me to go to Cebu, no one's watching you, no one's gossiping, no one's telling you off and stuff. So I became a leader. I was able to become the local L1 for domestic flights. And then I was able to become more of a leader than I would have believed I could be, because I was I'm a very timid. How do you say it? Like, I'm an introvert, basically. You can't see it, but yeah, I am. Look what I'm doing to my earphones. So I'm playing with my earphones while I talk. So that's how I am as a person. I get very nervous. So if someone tells me off, I'm quiet. So when I moved to Cebu, I was able to speak out. I was able to be a leader and stuff like that. International memory. The greatest international with Emirates was when I got promoted to first class. Sad to say, it was recent, so I only stayed in first class for a good 6 months before I lost my job. But it was one of those great memories because it's the one that you see during the open day. The video that they play during the open day, like, this is Emirates, all glamorous seats and everything. And then when you get there, you're stuck in economy. So when you reach first class, you're just like, wow, so this is what they're talking about, right? So yes, I made it to this cabin, and it was a dream. That cabin was a dream. So yeah, that's work-based, basically. Work-based great memories of being an international and a local flight attendant. Very small. I would say now, thinking of what I said, they're very simple memories, basically. But those are the ones that I remembered the most.
Yeah, and sometimes that is just life in general. The most simple things, you find joy in the simplest things, but those mean a lot. And with that being said, thank you very much, Candice. If you have something to promote, you mentioned you have your business now. So other than your social media, if you can kindly promote your business as well if you do want to, the floor is yours.
Yay. All right. Hello, everybody. Okay, first things first, shout out to your sister, May-Ann. I just want to say, when you were talking the other day, I kept on staring at you because I felt like I've seen you before. And then I was like, did I see you before? Did we fly with each other before? Did we bump into each other? You know, these things that happen to flight attendants when we see somebody. And then I realized that, oh my gosh, you look like Demi Lovato. So I'm like, Amar, wag ka nang dumaamag ano dyan, ha? But I swear, you're so gorgeous. You look like Demi Lovato. I love you to bits. So anyway, the sidetrack. I just had to say it because you know what? It drove me crazy thinking, who is this girl? Okay, anyway. So with the black hair and everything. So anyway, and the false eyelashes. That's one thing I need to get, actually, false eyelashes. But anyway, so it's kind of hard having false eyelashes with 2 kids. So yes, Candice Gold Vlogs. I do apologize because it's been a long time since I put out a vlog. I'm still thinking of content because yes, content is the hardest thing to think about, especially that you're not flying anymore. I kind of have this inner conversation with me that, what can you tell them that you're not flying? Okay, so that's my kind of dilemma at the moment. Business. So yeah, so because I lost my job, an opportunity came. I have a business, and why do the business I'm under UHS, a cellular nutrition company. So it's with health and everything. I love this because I still get to do my deepest why. I still get to share knowledge. I still get to help people. I still get to inspire people and help them get to their dreams faster. So that's why I love it. If you want to know more about this business, if you're trying to curious or anything, you can write me a letter and I'll be I'll love to share you the information. All right, so thank you so much, Amor. Thank you everybody for listening to me. I love you all to bits. Jefferson, thank you so much. Love you, Jefferson. Thank you, Evelita. Candice Gold Vlogs,
so
your friendly flight
let's take a picture. Oh, there you go. Let's take a picture. Demi Lovato. All right, 1, 2, 3. Next page, you're taking a picture with Demi Lovato. 1, 2, 3. All right, and yeah, there you go. All right, again, thank you very much, Candice, and we'll take a 2-minute break before we.
Thank you so much. Grabe. Grabe, such a speech. It brought me back to the time when I was in college and I was learning philosophy. Na parang, who knew that you can experience all those kinds of love with one job? Since we're talking about the job, and you said it so nicely, ang articulate, very well said. And as for the aspirants, grabe. Like, usually it's like, di ba, crush muna? But for our aspirants, it's the hard love first before they get the sweet love. So yeah, for the all for the best aspirants. Do you have any questions for our speaker?
Wala na.
Meron!
Hindi ako nakakausap eh.
Meron!
Wag na.
So, sige, tingin muna tayo sa chat box. Okay, from MJ De Los Reyes, heart. From Mod Ortiz, grabe, sana makahanap na ako ng true love. We're all praying for that man. Don't worry, we got you. From Myrick Razon, wow, beautiful speech with the shocked face. And then Miss Tanya Marquez, ganda, heart. From Christopher Labio Pagay, have you ever been heartbroken?
I think we all have in one point or another. So there are things that like something as simple as parang yung example ni Nicole comes to my mind, you know. Her childhood dream was to become a flight attendant. Apply siya sa PAL Express, next step. Tapos dun sa last moment, hindi. Tapos hindi sinabi kung bakit. Like, there are a lot of moments in our life na we are heartbroken. So yes, like everybody else. We are with everybody else, yes.
Wow! Siyempre, safe answer ang showbiz, no? Kainis!
Totoo naman.
From Daphne Lian Castillo, wow daw, heart. Parang lahat sila, puro heart na lang. From Miss Christine Gail Oreta, status niyo po ngayon, single or taken?
Very much taken.
Very much taken, guys. Do you want to introduce? You want to describe your love?
Hindi ko alam kung alam niya. Pero ako, title na lang. Joke lang. Gusto niya tanungin, de joke lang.
Yan tayo eh. From Mon Ortiz, Sir Monda, ano ang theme song nyo ng love mo and can you sing it for us too? Amen.
May team song ba tayo? May kausap pala ako lang. Hindi, wala.
Nandyan lang kasi siya, guys. Moral support. That's how love is.
May team. There are a lot of, meron ba? There are a lot of songs that ako, hindi ko alam sa kanya, I cannot talk for her. That reminds me of her. I mean, yung mga ganyan.
Top of the mind. First thing.
ILYSB. Mais.
Yun tayo eh. Dali na, few lines lang.
Tutula ko lang. I love you so bad. Okay na. Yun yung chorus. ILYSB.
Actually, lusot. Lagyan mo ng tugtog. Lusot siya.
Okay na, Moda.
Okay na. Baka mula.
Okay na, satisfied na.
From Miss Gianna Lituanias, if you're not a cabin crew, what work would you be in?
Teacher.
Teacher
for the kids. Basta teacher for the kids. Tulad nung, if nandito kayo nung nag-usap kami ni Shane, no, sinabi niya, same, no, kung di siya cabin crew teacher siya, ako sinabi ko kanina, actually, yun din yung that's something that I want and it led me to become a cabin crew. Napakalayo. If you don't remember the story or if you don't know that story, just to cut it short, when I was in college, I did not know what I wanted to be. Diba?
Yeah.
It's real talk, hindi naman tayo lahat planado yung buhay. So, like any other confused college student, I did not know what I wanted to be. So, pag-graduate na ako, parang deep thought, ano bang gustong mangyari sa buhay ko? Hindi ko alam. Promise, di ko talaga alam. Sabi ko, parang gusto ko maging teacher. Okay, so parang yun yung goal ko. So nag-apply ako sa mga job fair and then na-realize ko, hindi pala ako pwede maging teacher kasi hindi education yung background ko. Minimum requirement. Oo nga naman. So during that time, it was also a need na yung teacher sa ibang bansa sa US, at taas ng demand. So sabi ko, I had an epiphany. Bakit hindi na lang kaya ako yung magdala ng teacher sa Amerika? Ganun siya ka-random. Bakit hindi na lang ako maging flight attendant? With that moment of epiphany, I focused all my efforts, my power, lahat, and I focused it on to become a flight attendant. And that's why I became a flight attendant. It was not my childhood dream, but something happened along the line that led me to where I am supposed to be. Then after 1 year, nagkaroon ng hiring sa company namin kung pwede maging trainer. Sabi ko, uy, parang teacher din yun. So nag-try ako, I got hired, and I've been an external line trainer for my company ever since. And again, by doing that, it led me to doing what I do now. in short, para din akong teacher. Parang salingket-ket, pero still, kinda trying to share not specific knowledge from the books, but knowledge based from my experience as a cabin crew with regard to customer service, personality development, and the flight attendant life. So at least in my own way, in my own little way, I am sharing knowledge and trying to help out somebody or at least lead them to the direction for them to be great because we are all great. We should just help each other out. So yun lang. Now po, after 10 years, more than 10 years, I kind of got my dream. So it's not how long it is, but it's how you continuously try to work for it. And if God sees that it is meant for you, then He will give you that window of opportunity. Something unexpected, like what I said, hindi naman talaga totoong teacher, but still kind of the same premise. And you'll never know, maybe in 5 to 10 years, baka maging prof din ako sa university. Why not? Di ba? Magulat na lang kayo. Parang, di ba? Seryosohin nyo ba to? But you'll never know. You'll never know.
You'll never know. Very well said. Grabe na. Sobrang mind blown na parang random thought lang na random event, random thought, and it'll suddenly change your life. Biglang, you thought you're going here, pero biglang, dito pala ako. Tapos babalik ako dito. From Jefferson Garcia, tago sa Heart, sir. Grabe, Heart. I can just listen to you for a day. Ay! Sobrang inspiring kasi. From Jasmine Pasua. So inspiring, sir. Thank you so much. And we have a question from Leopoldo Flores II. What is your best asset, Sir Amor?
That's a good question. I have never been asked that before. Maka-comment lang ako dun sa mga kay Jeff, kay Jasmine. Actually, sinadya akong habaan para walang Q&A. Bakit pa kasi napapasok pa tong Q&A? Dapat pala sinakto ko 1 hour. Mga 2 paragraph pa yata ang kulang para sakto. Yun ang style sa this goal. Para walang Q&A. Best asset. That's a bit difficult because I'll be honest, I have a lot of insecurities too. And some people say that I am this confident, sometimes overconfident person, but deep down inside, no, I have a lot of insecurities too. So maybe siguro ang hirap. Top of my mind, maybe the best asset is that I am not the one that
a question that finally stopped him.
But maybe my strong will. Not even a strong will, but my will in general. That if you say no, and I believe that it's a yes, some people may say that it is being stubborn, but it depends on the situation. I will still believe in a yes. But also knowing that even if I should give up, I do not give up. Maybe that's my will, the will in me. Now, if I believe in something and know that even if the situation is bleak, is hard, I have the will and the confidence. No, I'll still do this. I can do this. And I did this. I have done this. So kaya mahilig ako sa mga underdog stories because I see myself as an underdog. Off the bat, some people may see me, ay, lalaban natin to kagad. Or some people will say, ay, hindi yan kapani-paniwala. Ano lang yan, farce lang yan, that he's not real. There are people who are like that. But that's why I like underdog stories and they will always touch me because at the end, after everything, after all the challenges, they will still succeed. And I know that we all will succeed regardless of what's going to happen. So that belief in myself, that willpower to know when to give up, but to be stubborn and not to give up. Yun, siguro, I don't know if I'm giving a really concrete answer, but
You are.
that's how, that may be my best asset. Magandang tanong yan, paghahandaan ko yan next time. Thanks, Leopold. Maganda yan. Masagot yan sa Whatever Wednesday na article.
Oo nga, guys, sabihin ko, may article ka na for Whatever Wednesdays. And for some odd reason, while you were talking, ang naisip ko, Hinebra. Yung barangay.
Ako din. Yun talaga. Yun ang mindset.
Hinebra. When you mentioned the underdog stories, barangay Hinebra.
Never say die. I don't know, only some will understand, but others will laugh at. And it's okay. May ganun. Nung nag-champion nga sila, huli, naiyak ako eh. Kadiri. Pero, I'm not shy about it.
Yan tayo eh. Okay, something out of the topic. Hindi ko masabing light kasi si Christine Gil Oreta ang tanong kung may paranormal activity na po kayong na-experience sa airplane.
Yes. May mumu na, if you call it a mumu or whatever. This happens to me every now and then in hotel rooms, in airplanes. Meron airplane na, okay, for those of you who don't know, meron kaming sleeping quarters sa mga ibang airplane. Kumbaga, pag malayo yung flight, America, yan. General terms niya yan, nagta-thumbs up si Candice. So, may sleeping quarters kami. So, talagang kama siya na natutulugan nyo. Medyo maliit lang, mas maliit pa sa one-bedroom apartment. No. It's a small space. Imagine, I'm 6 feet, but I try to, kasya naman, kahit paano. So, sometimes, I sleep on my side. So merong mga places na ayaw na tinutulugan ng mga ibang, ako meron akong favorite place na tinutulugan, hindi dahil yun yung best place na tinutulugan mo, dahil walang ibang gustong matulog doon, kaya ako na lang. O, di ba? Sacrifice pa rin. At yung place na yun minsan is, yung kama niya, katapat niya, yung pintuan ng cargo. Kasi nasa cargo yun yung mga ibang sleeping quarters. So, pag nandito yung ulo mo, nakahiga ka, yung ulo mo nakatapat sa pintuan, yung iba paranoid. Kasi, ay, gumagalaw yung pinto. Yung supernatural, paranoia lang naman yun sometimes So ako, sige, what times ako na doon ako matutulog. Tsaka gusto ko doon kasi kung just in case hindi ako magising, dadaanan yun ng mga ibang tao. So magigising pa rin ako. Okay, so going back, matutulog ako ganyan. Naka-side view ako. So ito yung nakatalikod ako doon sa pinto, sa daanan ng tao, ganyan. Tapos, habang natutulog ako, sa tenga ko, may nagsabi. So parang ako, nagulat ako, lumingon ako talaga, legit. Tapos sabi, walang tao. Walang tao. So parang ako, God. So sometimes it happens. So meron akong routine when that happens. So I talk to myself. So sasabi ko, hi, pwede bang, I know you're there, pero pwede bang hayaan niyo lang ako magpahinga at matulog? Hindi kita i-istorbohin. Wag mo ako istorbohin, please. Yan yung lagi ko sinasabi. So, harap ako ulit doon. Tapos sinabi niya ulit, mas mabagal ng asar. So, parang ako, tapos hindi na ako tumingin. Kasi, baka pag dumilat ako, nakaharap siyang ganyan, di ba? So, ayun na. So, parang sinabi ko na lang out loud, baka po gusto niyo ng accompaniment or may gusto kang kausapin. Pero, as of now, pwede lang po ako magpahinga. Pasensya na kung may istorbo kita or something. Pero, yun lang, magpapahinga lang ako. Salamat po. Di ako dumidilat. Then, I always have my rosary with me. I started praying the rosary on my mind until I fall asleep. So, that's something that happens every now and then sa mga hotel. Sa hotel nga, meron yung isang hotel natutulog akong ganyan. Tapos, alam mo yung may umupo sa tabi mo, yung biglang humiga yung kama, tapos wala ka namang roommate, nakalock naman yung pinto at kung ano-ano pa. As in legit, nung naramdaman ko yung may umupo, alam ko na walang ibang tao. Ginawa ko talaga to, magilid ako, tapos nagsalita ako ng malakas. Pasensya na po ako, nakikishare ako ng kwarto nyo. Kwarto nyo po to, mga 3 araw lang po ako dito, magpapahinga lang ako, pero di na ako dumidilat. Then again, I'll hold my rosary, keep my faith, and start praying until I fall asleep. And after that, wala na. Yung usually one time lang sila magpaparamdam, tapos hindi ko na sila mararamdaman after. Yan. Mga a couple of times na rin sa iba't ibang lugar. Kasi yung iba may nagkwento, pagkadilat nila nakaganyan sa, ayoko nun, kaya hindi na ako dumidilat. Pag one time lang, yung nabigla lang kasi talaga ako. Ganyan. O kaya means, pag ganun, hindi na. Totoo yan.
Ayoko na. Bigla ako naisip na buti na, may isang benefit pala na hindi ako lumilipad ngayon. Walang mga ganyan.
If you remember last week, I told my sister matatakotin siya. No? So medyo takotin siya. I mean, of course, with respect to seniority and the people you work with, sometimes you cannot leave a conversation. Respeto kasi sa mas nakakatanda, di ba? Minsan pag kinakausap ka. Pero sabi ko sa kanya, man, for your own mental health, pag nakakatakot yung usapan, kahit sino kausap mo, sabihin mo, excuse me, yun nga, na I am not comfortable talking about this. Please go ahead, pasaalis na ako. Basta, yun, kaya ginagawa niya. Kasi sabi ko, magalit na sila sa inyo, magalit na sila sa'yo, okay lang. Basta pag nagtrabaho ka. Pag nagkwentuhan sila about nakakatakot, di mo kaya umalis ka. Hindi naman yun talaga kasama sa trabaho mainly. So, kung magagalit sila sa'yo dahil doon, okay lang yun. kaysa magalit sila sa'yo dahil ayaw kanila katrabaho. Diba? Yun lang.
Yeah, I remember that. Sobrang helpful yun. Like, there was a time na parang, nagkukwentuhan talaga sila, tapos parang aalis ako. Pero since wala nang gagawin na work, kasi nagsarado na yung service and everything, so wala na ako ibang pupuntahan. And alam nilang matatakotin ako na parang thank you din na they understood. Medyo hinanaan na lang nila yung boses nila para di ko
Oo, magtrabaho. Maglinis ka na lang ng banyo, ganun.
And then, Ira, nakakaloka, no?
Overtime na.
And then, maraming tanong ko mula dyan. Next, from Miss CJ Maala. How can you see yourself 5 years from now?
Unlike the other aspirants, other speakers, I'm just starting to try to become an adult. So, if you ask me, yeah, I know I'm 34, right? So, kaya sabi ko, it's never too late for you guys. If you see me as somebody successful and I can do this, what you can do at your young age, you know? You can do a lot. So, again, I'm just trying to be an adult. If you ask me last year or 2 years ago, hindi ako makakasagot kasi hindi ako ganun ka-farsighted. I am live by the moment person. Be happy now person. So again, I'm just starting to be an adult, in short. 5 years from now, hopefully I am still a flight attendant. And I think I am. Even if you say 10 years from now, I hope I am still a flight attendant until something really happens. And I am also the same thing as what I'm doing now, a speaker, a teacher, a consultant. It's still the same thing. So what's different? In my personal life, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Sabihin mo 6 years para kasal na ako pag 6 years. Para 40, kasal yan, personal life. 6 years, same answer like everybody else. In 5 years, hopefully, you're starting your family. If you don't have any, I'd be married by then. Pero for my professional answer, same thing, but only bigger. Like,
Nice.
a dream is, though I have some schools that are constantly hiring me as a speaker or to be a part of their, as a consultant for them, something more consistent. For companies that I am currently in collaboration with, for their customer service and personality development aspect of their training, something more consistent. Kumbaga bigger and mas legit. Kumbaga, itong Team Exceptional group natin, hindi lang sa papel at sa Facebook. In 5 years, baka talaga we are fully like a real thing, like somebody on paper, like a group, a training center. Yan. So yun yung something bigger than what we have right now. Yun yung ano ko, a 5-year plan. And you'll never know, baka isa sa inyo ang aking CFO or ewan ko, basta, Sergeant at Arms, ganyan. Oh. Escort ko, trip niya sa buhay, gawa natin ang posisyon yan. Basta legit. Para lang.
May mga nagvo-volunteer na ngayon pa lang, no? Yan, raise ha.
Gail Oreta, Sergeant at Arms, go! Go na!
Si MJ, si Ayan, volunteer daw. Yan. Ngayon, next question, hindi mo to pwedeng tanggihan kasi it's from our fellow speaker, Miss Candice Gold, KK. So, yeah. Which would you choose? Yung mahal mo o yung mahal ka?
Yung nagmamahalan kami.
Wow!
Ano daw? Uy!
Nananahimik siya! Next will be from Christopher Labio.
Yung, wag na.
So, sige, sabihin mo na.
Yung nagmamahalan nga kami. Siguro mas, yung mahal ko.
Yeah.
Yung mahal ko. Oo. Parang, ewan ko, not talking from experience, parang iniisip ko lang na, parang, kunwari, hindi pa rin talaga. Even if you show undying love for me or whatever, if I do not feel the same way, parang for me there's something wrong. I'm not saying that it's not the right answer, but for me that's my answer. Somebody I love.
Got you there. Okay. Thank you for that wonderful answer, rather. Next question will be...
Hindi mo ako matitinag, Candice Gold.
What are your dreams for your family, for your love, and for moi?
Maging milyonaryo kami lahat.
Yay! Gusto ko yan!
Tayong lahat, maging milyonaryo tayong lahat if that's possible. I mean, as of this, at this point in my life, well, I have always been very thankful. There's a lot of things that I can ask for, of course, but what I have now is more than already a blessing compared to what I have 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Ang layo na. So anything that goes beyond that is it's just already a blessing. So if I can give something definite, maging milyonaryo tayong lahat because it's just a way for us to enjoy siguro the material things in life. Not because it is important, but I am already certain kasi that my love, my sisters, my parents are already happy, are already at the best position already. So siguro other than that, good health for them to enjoy how beautiful life is longer as much as possible. So yeah.
Parang
Thanks for
cherry
time.
on the icing of a already very beautiful and delicious cake.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. Nice.
Hindi
Thank
pa ako
you.
mamamatay. Ayoko pa mamatay. Pero I mean, I'm already happy. Patagalin pa natin para mas masaya lang.
But just to make sure, he's not saying he's done. Masaya lang siya at he's not the one at this time.
Gusto ko patagalin. Wala pa akong anak, Lord, ha? Wala pa. Di pa kami kasal. Wait lang.
Okay, special request from Leopoldo Flores II and Daphne Lian Castillo. Pasample naman daw ng PA announcement, if you can still remember.
Aboy, magandang lalaki po ako sa inyo lahat. Ako po ay, joke lang. joke lang, hindi yan sa akin. Sa isang colleague ko yan. So, my usual, matagal na ako hindi nag-a-announce. More than 10 years na yata. Oo. Let's see if I remember. Abuhin, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to flight 143 bound for Cebu. Ano ba yung na-announce natin? Hindi ko na maalala. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. Do not remove your carry-on baggage until the aircraft has come to a full stop and is properly parked. Tapos, diretso natin sa ending. On behalf of Captain Mon Ortiz, First Officer Jefferson Garcia, and your Airbus 320 cabin crew, we have David James Dixon at the Mabuhay section, Christine Joy Maala, Tanya Marquez, and Ian Christopher Tagal at the Festa class. This has been Amor Maximo, and we thank you for flying Asia's first, Asia's sunniest airlines. Mabuhay! Wala lang. Sobrang old school.
Sobrang old school. As in, sa kanya ko lang narinig yun. Hindi ko na siya naubutan nung lumilipad ako.
Saka yung i-google niyo, Asia's first, Asia's sunniest, ilang dekada na hindi sinasabi. Ano na ngayon, your home in the sky. Alam mo yun, your home in the sky.
Hindi nga. Hindi na nga yun. Hindi na nga yun eh.
BPA.
Oh my God. All messages of love from Jasmine Pascua. Thank you so much. Ay, alis daw siya kasi magdadasal daw sila. Fly with you soon daw.
Fly with you soon, Jasmine.
From Miss Amira Cheng. Her question is, have you ever been jealous or insecure about anything?
Questions. Ano yung question? May comment.
Well, you already answered about the insecure part. So, have you ever been jealous about anything?
I try to be not jealous because I think jealousy is a poison that ruins relationships. Pero tao lang din naman ako. Pero syempre, di ko aaminin.
So, never mo na-amin na nagselos ka?
Eh, mararamdaman mo naman.
It's hampagin ako. So,
alam mo ba?
I don't know.
Tumawa lang. Hindi. Let's say siguro with regards to my relationship with her. Weird pinag-uusapan. Tapos nandyan siya. Weird. Sabi ko I try not to be jealous. Pero syempre minsan there are some things na, ay. Pero, yun lang. Ayun, parang you just don't let it foster and linger. So I cannot really say I'm super jealous. But there are times you cannot, syempre hindi mo i-deny. Like, I don't know with you guys, pero kwari ako, like, syempre you know the last relationship your partner was with. So minsan, ay, bakit sila ganun ako hindi? Yung minsan mga maliliit na bagay na hindi mo sinasadyang isipin pero may isip mo. So if you call that jealousy, maybe it is. Pero again, like what I said, those thoughts might come and may come, pero it's up to you if you want it to foster or not. Kasi nga, tapos na. Wala na naman point. Unless it is something that can make your relationship better, then okay.
Mm-mm.
Ayan na, from Ira Calosa, the heart of the Filipino. Ira, pasensya na.
Ayan. But, buti pa siya no?
Oo na ako di lumilipad, Ira. Pasensya na.
I like what you said. Parang ano yan yung your first reaction is parang normal. Yung how you react, it's what defines you as a person, your personality. Yung how you react to that first reaction. Ganon. Next is...
Wala na, okay na, uy.
Hindi, pwede pa. Ano na,
Okay na,
last na. Sabi ni Joanna, last na, promise.
Ah, sige.
Oo. Kung may 5 years, how do you see yourself 10 years from now? Last na po.
Same thing as the 5 years with the physical office or the business and kids. Kids, or at least a kid. Or if I am not blessed with a kid, well, I'll be married by then. 44, no? Sure na yun. Okay. Pagkita niyo po, gusto niyo pakita ko siya, tapos diring siya sa pinagsasabi. Kung si Doc Boy Fee siya din, yung Doc Boy Fee ni Shane, siya din, tapos diring siya pag pinag-uusapan. Ako, natin pag-usapan. Pagtago. Mark, may comment ka?
Oo, magko-comment siya, may ko-comment siya. What are you gonna say?
Sino?
Ikaw, may comment ka eh.
Nawala sa isip ko eh.
Buti naman.
Mamaya, ipipm ko na lang sa'yo. Baka magalit ka eh. Sabihin mo, bastos ako. Huwag na. Recorded pa naman to.
Oo, mapapanood nila to. Baka yung reputasyon mo, masira. Ganda-ganda ng reputasyon mo.
Oo. PM na lang, PM.
Ayun, ikaw nagagawa nun. Alright, so, okay na. I know, thank you. Thank you for asking the questions. It's overtime na eh. Kaya actually, nahiya kasi ako sa inyo. Sabi ko, 6 o'clock lang. I don't mind answering it. Pero I'm just, syempre, nahiya ako sa oras nyo. And salamat for that. Sorry, medyo mahaba yung drama ko. Oo, pero sabi ko nga, I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. I didn't know kung ano yung laman ng gusto kong pag-usapan, but I know what I wanted to talk about at the end of the conference. Because I think it is something a bit different and similar compared to what all the speakers said. And yeah, thank you very much. With that being said, ako na, man, thank you very much for covering for me. Ay, teka lang, may gagawin ka pa pala. Sige. Hindi mo maalala ko na.
Huh?
Amor, thank you very much for speaking. Do you have anything to promote, your social media or your business? Ay, thank you very much, Amor. So,
I'm here, bro.
Thank you. Salamat po again. First of all, thank you very much for attending this conference. Thank you very much. The turnout was more than expected. Salamat po. You can catch me on my social media. Like Jermaine De Guia, I'm easy to find. Just like Amor Maximo. And Facebook, the first 3 things you'll find is about me. My personal page, my Facebook page, Amor Maximo, wherein we try to spread some information, positivity, a little bit of everything every day. I try every day. Thank you very much also for I made an update. 18,000 followers and 17,000 likes. Wow, But though I appreciate all your likes, alam mo naman. Joke lang. Asarin ko lang siya. The only like that I need. But again, joke lang. Seriously though, thank you very much for all your support. And like all the other speakers, I am certain that it doesn't matter, though it matters a bit how many likes and follows that we have. But just for us to feel that coming from you supporters, the aspirants, it makes us continue on with what we do. Salamat po. For the Instagram, it's Amor_Maximo or Amor_speaks. And for YouTube, Amor Maximo. Alam nyo kanina nung nagkakwentuhan tungkol kay Shane, no? Sabi ko, Shane Buhat has 145,000 subscribers. Mont Ortiz, Fly High Manila has 14,000. Ina Ramos has 2,000. I think sila Marian Carmelo has 20,000, 70,000. Ruth Ramos has 80,000. Tapos, and ako, 300. Walang 1,000, 300. Tumawa siya ng malakas. Actually, natawa din ako eh. But yun nga, we all have to start somewhere. And it does it, actually, kahit hindi lumakas ng, kahit di ako umabot ng 300, 400, basta at least dun sa 300, meron isang life na na-touch, isang taong na-inspire. Lahat naman kami yun yung mindset. So salamat pa rin talaga. Salamat sa lahat. Hindi ko nga expect na aabot ng 100 yan, like 300 pa eh. Happy na ako sa 10 at 50, umabot na 3. I mean, di ba? Even I'm sure Mond Ortiz can attest to this when Fly High Manila was starting their page. Di mo naman na-expect na abot ng 100,000 likes yung page mo, di ba? Parang ako, nung una, umabot nga lang ako ng 100. Post ako. Thank you, 100 likers and followers. Parang now we're at 19,000. Parang what the? And salamat sa inyong lahat. Whether you're new, you're old, yung sabi ko nga, yung mga day one. Salamat din sa inyo for those who pushed me also and believed in me. Salamat, salamat. Salamat sa Team Exceptional. We have that Facebook group. We are 4,000 followers, 4,000 group members. Salamat po. And sa mga group chat natin wherein I know I have not been active lately because I have been very busy. But nakita ko, parang kayo-kayo mismo. And yun yung goal natin, to have a community wherein the members are continuously helping themselves, improving themselves, pushing each other up, and not having any judgment. Outside kasi, di ba, in social media, ang daming pero, ang daming humihila pababa. That's why a lot of us are worried. Pero again, those members of Team Exceptional, the GC, the fruit salad, ayan, alam niyo yan, watermelon, banana, avocado, tsaka mango, the fruit salad team, salamat. Salamat sa iyo at natutuwa ako na in your own little way, you are helping each other out. And I am also happy that you are part of different team members, kay Ina, kay Jermaine, kay Mond, at sa ibang mga speakers natin. Kumbaga, let's all spread that mentality, that advocacy of helping, of pulling each other up. O di ba, nag-thank you na. Idediretso ko na kasi pasasalamat talaga to para sa pag-attend ng conference. And that's it. Thank you for all your support. I will try to continue on what we have been doing. And